Hello, everybody. I feel hella awkward starting this live solo. Welcome to 5 for 5 Live. Audra is going to be joining the stream. She is just restarting her laptop, and that might take another 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm awkwardly starting because she said to, and I decided that y'all have been very patient to wait for us. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. So I just want to say, if you're new here, if you happen to be watching on the replay, there is a live chat that's been already happening the whole time. I recommend opening up that live chat for when you're watching on the replay. There's a lot of conversation happening in there, and we usually try to highlight as we go, but y'all are talkative, and there's some good shit happening over there. So 5 for 5 Live is something that Audra and I do usually on Thursday nights. This week, we sometimes do Tuesday nights is when we stream with also Kara C. But Kara is out of town this week, so we're doing 5 for 5 Live today, and then we'll do another one on Thursday. It might also be called 5 for 5. I also saw a question in the chat, hello everybody, about what 5 for 5 means. So that started kind of picking like 5 products or 5 products, whether it's a favorite or something we've come back to or whatever related to makeup. But all the conversations that we have in this chat have been so good that we quickly kind of switched over to just talking about a topic, something relevant to the community or something random unrelated to makeup. So we still call it 5 for 5 Live, but that doesn't mean we're going to have 5 points. That doesn't mean we're going to have 5 topics. It's just kind of a catchy name. And welcome, Legally Black Beauty. I just started. You are not super late. I am waiting for Audra to restart her computer. So I just thought I would do the little intro. Again, nobody is late. When it comes to 5 for 5 and Legutta, you're never late. You're never late. Awesome, because I feel awkward as hell solo. 5 for high 5. I like that. Yes. Yeah, we skipped a stream last week, but we both love streaming. So this week, the topic at hand is kind of, hey, Nusha, we do between Tuesdays and Thursdays talk for usually at least 5 hours. Every stream I feel like is a solid 2 to 3 hours. So strap in. Hey, Christine. Thank you, Ruthie. So this week, I'm just distracted by the chat. Billy the cat. Oh, welcome, Katie. Yeah. What was it? Last week I streamed with Sincerely Alex, who's in the chat, and we talked for 4 hours. Whoa. So well, so Teresa here, Neon Cartoon Raccoon Beauty, said thinking 10 minutes in and the carrots and tacos start coming up. But I mean, we're talking strap-ons less 4 minutes in. So I think is that a new record? Anyway, so the topic this week is talking about kind of like YouTube friendships and how I would say the new guard or the newer beauty, I wouldn't even say newer additions to the beauty community, but just the more modern take on the beauty community, how we kind of handle friendships within YouTube, and then versus kind of the old guard. And by old guard, you all know who we're talking about. So we're record smashed. Smashing also is a good word choice. Oh, see, this is why I'm like, I'll just be distracted by the chat the whole time. That's fine. So yeah, when Audra gets in here, we'll talk about that and just kind of talk about how important YouTube friendships are as a support, like as a support network, as a support group. Welcome back, Mo, just in time. I've just been on for about 5 minutes. Audra is making her way in here after dealing with, as per usual, computer and internet issues. And we'll be talking about the topic at hand at that point in time. For now, I'm just letting the chat distract me because y'all are the best. I saw that pop up on my stream. Legally Black Beauty was unboxing the Kaleidos PR, and I'm excited to watch it because I see feedback discussion. I am actually wearing some, and Kaleidos sent me my first ever PR package, so I just wanted to celebrate that a bit. Yeah, that happened. I'm calling her out on that, where it's like glamour shots. Oh look, as I called her out, I see her in the stream.
Hi.
Hello.
I just decided to say fuck it and try to just do it from my cell phone for now because I think I just need to eventually I'm gonna have to get another fucking computer because this computer, it's done all it can do for its age. Like, computers are like older than 2 years and you're like, fuck me.
Yeah. On that note, we have, for anyone that's watching that is feeling generous, we have all of our Patreon, CashApp, PayPal, Venmo, all in the description box. If you, for some reason, don't follow Audra, all of her channel and Instagram and Twitter is also linked down there. And yes, Audra is here glistening. Oh, and hello, BDB, Barry.
Hashtag Audrey Glow.
I think we would have to fight if we started on time around here.
Girl, you are not even kidding, for real. Because I tried ish. I lose. You know what's so funny is I think, what did they just say that? Like, I'm not fashionably late. I just don't know what time it is.
I don't remember that, but I bet you did say it.
I just don't know what time it is.
at like 9:05, I was on Marco Polo like, Audra, I know you're alive. I know you're so where the fuck are you? Now 25 minutes later, we're here.
I know. I'm like, I'll just do it this way because fuck my phone. Fuck my computer. It's doing its best. It's doing its best on its last HP legs.
Yes. Well, I love this, Tracy. A goddess arrives exactly when she means to. Or wants to, because she's a goddess and she can do whatever she wants. Yeah, I'm the kind of person that I'm often late, but sometimes I'm weirdly early because anxiety is like, you got to be there, and then it's like, no, you didn't need to be early. It's okay.
Thank you. That happens to me way too often, where I'm like, I don't I'm like, oh, I for job interviews, for instance, I will get to a job interview 45 minutes early, and I'm like, well, fuck, because 15 is the max. So then I'm just sitting in my car
yeah. In New York, it's like, I guess I need to find a coffee shop, but not drink coffee because then you have coffee breath. So just sit in a coffee shop and buy a bottle of water and wait. Depends on the weather. But if it's winter, yeah, I'm not just be like, I'll just walk around the block. No.
Coffee breath for an interview is the worst.
Also, time is a lie. I would agree with that.
Thank you. That is constructed by man. Time was created by man. Because if it weren't a lie, then they wouldn't keep fucking with it twice a year. So
oh my god, daylight savings time. I'm like, can we just exist like a normal clock?
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm like, if time is real, then why do we keep changing? And they're like, well, that's different. I'm like, is it though?
Oh, thank you, Barry.
Thank you, Barry. And we're like, thank you, Barry, like Charlie's Angels and shit.
Yeah, one of my good friends, we're both Palestinian or Arab, which is being late is just in your blood. But there are times where I will anxiety get somewhere early and then she's late, so I'm like, fuck, there's an hour of my day that I could have spent doing something else. Because I'm 15 minutes early and she's 45 minutes late. And I'm just like, I still love you. I can't not. Like, you're my best friend. But also, I wish my brain would understand your schedule better, better than it
Yeah.
does.
I don't understand. Like, well, and like, here's the thing. Okay. So people like when in like this is real life, but like like when you're in Texas, there we go. When you want me to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, then you say 7:30, and then I'll be there at 8 o'clock. Like that's how it works. Like give a 30-minute like window, and like
time is
yes,
over. Party cancel time. Cancel
thank
time party.
you. Just so over that bullshit. Like it just, I find it so irritating. Like, ugh, just let me get up when I get. Because like honestly, Bo doesn't let me sleep in, y'all. He's not about that life. He's like, get the fuck up. I'm like, okay. Like it hurts my feelings how rude he is about it. Like I want to sleep in. Like tonight, I'm gonna probably drink all 4 of these summer red spritzers from Barefoot, and you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna feel like crap. And you know what? I'm gonna want to sleep in, and Bo's gonna be like, I gotta pee now, and I'm gonna be like, I hate you so much.
I am not drinking at the moment. I just have water because it's been a weird day. I might grab a cider a little later, but it's been a weird day so far, and it's 9 o'clock for me. So like so far, I don't know, but yeah, time in 2020. What is that? Like
I did
being
like,
at home every day, like all this shit.
yeah. Well, and this is the first day that I've really done like two looks in one day. So like,
Yeah.
I was like, I need a drink.
Oh no, you don't. I mean, drink away. You deserve it. I've been just been like, I was looking at like my list of things I needed to do for work, and I thought I had an extra day for something, but I don't. And I'm supposed to have something ready for the morning, and I'm just like, well, fuck me. Either I'm gonna take care of this once we're done streaming, or I'm gonna get up and take care of it. So I maybe should go light, if not skip it completely on the alcohol. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I might break. I might be like, screw this. I want it.
Hold, please. No, you're not holding. I'm like, please hold while I
Your
access the
cat
chat.
yells at me. Oh, I do feel that. Barry says I've been laid off work since March. I don't even know what month it is exactly.
Oh, good. Okay. I was just making sure I decided to try this. Listen, I'm going to be moving around a lot because I don't have a place to stick this phone as of yet. And as soon as I find something, I'll like pop off right quick and like put the phone somewhere and we'll come back. But for now, I'm holding it. So
Audra is really like putting in the work tonight. Let's just say that.
I am.
Know that struggle. For a while I thought about switching back to streaming on my phone because I think the camera is better than this, but then I'm like, the amount of times my phone has lost power or it's randomly just fucked off on me. I'm like, do I want to do that right now? I don't know. I don't know about that.
I wasn't able to see the chat. So I was like, oh, let me just pop in here so I can also see the chat because otherwise, like, I'm missing part of it.
Oh, good night to Aspen.
Night, Aspen.
Thank you for stopping in, Barry. I hope Lily is doing well. If y'all didn't know, Thorne's cat Lily had a little bit of an injury. And if you follow Thorne on Instagram, there is a fundraiser for Lily. So if you can, just thought I would mention that. Is Bo up to some shit already?
He really is. He's looking at me like he didn't just go outside. Like he's looking at me like he only wants to go because I am right here. Like that's it. He's like, I want to go because you are doing something that isn't hanging out with me. So even though we hung out all day, but he got like pissy because I left one time. Like, damn.
Is it easier to, I just had a thought, would it be easier to stream from the couch so he can chill with you?
I might actually. I might do that. But yeah, when I think I figured out how to like do it from my phone, but it's gonna take me like popping off right quick and coming back to get it all set up.
Okay.
But I didn't think about this. I didn't think shit through,
You were too inspired by the look that you were putting together, which is amazing, by the way. I love the yellow and green. She had another gorgeous like blue and red, like Miss America, although screw this country. Look, but there's definitely two amazing colorful looks that have happened today. I didn't expect you to change your makeup because you had the other look on like half an hour ago.
Well, so the thing is, I wanted to save it because it's a surprise. So I was like,
Oh, that's
because I
true.
was just gonna wear it, and then I was like, wait, hold on. So I was like, oh, never mind. And I was like I took a hot shower because girl, I was smelling like onions. It was getting rough. So I went ahead and took a shower.
Wait, but it's announced, right? We should celebrate your
Yeah, everybody knows like
situation.
everybody knows it's just like it's so I won the June Starfish Award
For
um
Nomad with Nomad
for
Cosmetics.
Nomad. Like Kara C and Saucer Jess nominated me for Nomad Cosmetics, and I just got my present. I just got my present, and I just filmed a look and all that stuff with it. So I was like, yeah, I was very excited. But y'all, like, I'm looking at myself on the YouTube. Jeez, the hashtag Audra Glow is going like strong as fuck. And the lipstick for Tracy is a combination of three things. It's two different RMS shades plus a Milani gloss. Oh, Jesus. Did y'all hear him scrabbling around?
He is up to some shit.
He really is.
I need to make a little graphic because I know on this StreamYard you can like do an overlay. I feel like I just need to make a little one that's like Bo is up to some shit that I can pop on the screen when he's up to some shit.
Thank you. And then like one that says cat butt.
Yes. Because that always happens. Oh my goodness. So we oh, that's amazing, Nusha. I'm learning about so many brands from watching you ladies. We are always on the hunt for
Boy, you better
indies
put my foot down before you lose your life.
Never apologize for putting Bo in his place. I was gonna say yes, and Audra Glow should be a thing. That should be a thing for sure. Oh yes, and Tyrion's up to some shit. That's very true because
I don't even know why he's like this. Like it's actually because the past 2 days it's been like rainy and cloudy, and we have to we don't get to be out as much as we normally are. So he's on his shit, like, because it's like we didn't get to go on a long one. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna stand out there where the sky opens up on us, because then he's gonna tug me and like try to drag my ass into the house, and I'm wearing flip flops in the rain. Like, I'm gonna die. That's not. If he like really takes off, like, I'm finished. Like, no.
And having been around Bo for the last couple of months, I'm like, Audra, don't wear flip flops with Bo. You know better.
Most of the time it's good, but when it rains and he's like, no. Like, he loves the bath, but he hates the rain. So like, I have to fight him to keep him out of the shower, which, whatever, because people will be like, oh, you wash your dog and you're naked too. I'm like, he's a dog. He really doesn't know that I'm naked. Like,
why do people get so weird about? Also, I'm just saying, if anyone wants to nominate somebody that's here in the chat or in the stream, just gonna say. Nomad is one of those brands that's so fascinating to me, but like, I haven't actually delved into their products, so I would be intrigued.
Yeah, I'm way the fuck into it. Like, I've liked Nomad for a very long time, because I used to get like little singles and stuff like that from like beauty boxes and whatnot. So I was always into it. Of course, some of my singles got broken by Bo. We're not going to talk about it, but anyways, yes, Thorn. Thank you. It's just a fancy spelling for busybodies because he is a nosy bitch. Anyways, but yeah, like, if y'all could, like, listen, Emily needs to get her hands on this Nomad for sure, because I think that once she starts playing with it, she'll realize that it's awesome. The formula is so soft and beautiful. But like,
also, I love what Katie said. Like, they can't stand it. Doing a Zoom meeting, cool. On the computer, fine. On the phone, fuck that. It's on, Mom. We're gonna revolt.
that is so true. So true. I don't know
Okay,
why I'm like doing plastic surgery lips or like Botox lips. I'm super sorry.
like,
I think it's the gloss because I'm like,
I had lip balm on, and then I kept it on, and then I put on lipstick, and then lip gloss. So I feel you on that. Where I'm just like,
I'm just over here like, I'm like a real housewife in this bitch. Like, so
oh my
sad.
god. This is
I'm very
hilarious.
angry.
And I agree. Somebody once told me she would never undress around her cats, and it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, they're always naked.
Thank
Exactly.
you. Like, here's the thing. Bo does understand naked in the sense of if I take his collar off of him, he knows he's naked. He doesn't know about my naked. Like, he has no clue. I naked dance all the time. He doesn't know the difference. Like, he just knows Mama's doing her weird shit again. Like, he's fine.
I like that. Just like Mom's just up to her weirdness. Just like Bo's up to some shit. Audra's up to her weirdness.
Well, yeah, because today, like, this is lateness. Also, blame this on Abby Williamson because it's also her fault because she introduced me to what is it, the Smoky Brights, right? So I was like, all right, I'll try it. I normally don't take music recommendations from people. I know that I just don't. I normally don't because it comes from having lived in LA and all the people who have a band and they would be like, ooh, and you'd be like, oh my god, this is terrible. Like, you would go to their show and you'd be like, oh, why did I come to this? This is like my worst nightmare. This is so horrible. So like, I don't take music recommendations from people from that. So this time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna listen to it. What else have I got to do? Like, I was walking by, I was like, whatever. Man, I am like now hooked on this band. So I'm like yelling at Alexa. I'm like listening to it, and I'm just like naked dancing around. Like, I've spent too much time dancing and not enough time getting ready. So I
I'm
do
still gonna
apologize.
blame you. That's not on Abby. That's on you. That's on Audra being
No,
Audra. That's on Audra being
listen,
amazing.
I would not have been dancing to music for this shower if it wasn't for her. Normally, I would have just taken my shower and gone about my business.
Also, yes, Nate Fashionatesta would be a great nominee for the Nomad Starfish. So, what Nomad does, just because I saw a couple people asking, is that they basically do, like monthly PR nominations.
Yeah.
And so you can nominate. So I'm going to share the actual Nomad.
You.
Sorry. So,
No, you're
oh,
fine.
that's weird. Does the screen show, or does it look like Inception screen
No,
where
I
there's
see
a
it.
bunch of? Okay, so this is the Nomad Instagram. So if you scroll down this post, so every month they do different nominations, and so last month was the theme was Black creators, right? Black makeup artists and beauty.
Yeah.
And that's why, and Audra was one of the winners. And so this month, in kind of honor of Pride Month, and they actually Nomad talks about Stonewall riots, and they're looking for LGBTQIA plus MUAs, or MUAs I think are just like beauty lovers, influencers, creators. And their project Starfish is basically how they find new people to send PR to. So they're looking for you to nominate someone in the IG beauty community who makes the beauty world a better place based on the theme we share each month. You can either email them or comment on the IG post telling us why you are nominating them and both your IG handles. Telling us why is this with specifics is the important part.
Yeah.
So, and they don't pick the same winner twice, but it sounds
Yeah.
like you stay on the PR for a while, right? Like, it's not just a short, like, it's not just 1 month. Is that true?
I'm not
Or do you
sure.
know?
I don't actually know. I do know that
Okay.
they're kind enough to give me PR for the rest of the year. So that's
Cool.
like,
That's amazing.
I'm like, whoa. So that's pretty awesome. But I don't know if that's like an everybody thing. I have no idea. But You guys, this is something where, and I encourage all of you in here, like whether you nominate us or not, I prefer that you did, but like it's not, you don't have to. But here's the thing. This is the kind of shit we need brands to be doing because this is the only way that we change how PR is being done. Because right now it's just like on a constant, regular level of the same people. And let's get real, it's not, there's nothing wrong with people getting PR, the same people get it, but the problem is you already know what stuff looks like on certain people, and I think it just kind of curbs it for people for being able to see it on someone else. Like my dark ass, if you want to see how something looks on, you know, a dark skinned woman, hello, you know, like, and I'm not like the darkest skinned, obviously, but if you're looking for, you know, darker realms, if you're looking for lighter realms, like this is the kind of shit where we need brands to be more proactive in this. And I think it's really cool that Nomad's doing it. And it's not some bullshit where it's like tag your 17 fucking friends and like follow this and follow us there. Like I hate that with a furious passion. I will punch somebody in the face because it just actually really makes me mad when they do that. Like real talk, I get very annoyed. Oh. And yo, why does my head, like I'm looking at the actual live stream and my head looks so small in comparison to my ginormous body. Like what's happening?
It's honestly the only reason is because you normally have the camera angle further up, but because you have it further down, you're seeing more of the body. But that's probably like, uncomfortable to hold your
because I can't hold my arm around this whole time, y'all. I can't do it. Like,
but yeah. So this is so Legally Black Beauty says the Starfish are invited to join the ongoing PR list, which I assume just means for the rest of 2020. So yes, they will get PR for the rest of the year. I mean, Starfish can mean many, many things, Tracy. Let's just say, let's just say that. And then
no, please do not do that because listen, first of all, Tracy, I am no starfish, so don't even go there. I work. I move my hips. That's all I'm saying.
That's amazing. Someone is literally writing a video about why camera lenses do that.
But Nate, no, I actually have some people who follow me who like, and I'm not mad about it, but like, oh my God, it just like, there's people who I've literally stopped looking at like anything that they like. So they show up and like on my Instagram, I don't even look anymore because I just know that it's like 17 different giveaways, and I'm like, listen, I don't do giveaways, so like this don't, like I don't do like not I don't do them. I don't enter them, so like I don't. Please stop. Please don't enter me in. Like please don't tag me in any more giveaways.
It will only get worse, I think, as the counts get bigger, because I know that's something that Lacey has had to like continuously say on her Instagram, like don't tag me in giveaways. Because here's the thing: is that technically your influencer, the people you follow, they're not your friends. So when giveaways are like tag your friends, it's like no, that's not exactly who you're tagging, really. Like tag actual people you know.
Well, and a big thing here too, like for me on my Instagram, like I'm always trying to shout out all of like as many of you as I can when I see you, because you know Instagram works fucked up, so I don't always get to see all your pics and all that stuff. So I'm really big on that. Like I really am. I try to highlight y'all, whether you have a channel or not. That's not the point. Like you're part of the Legata gang. You're part of the fam. And I want to make sure that you're highlighted and that you feel seen and heard. So when you clog up my notifications with giveaways, it makes it very, very difficult for me. Also, when y'all tag me and stuff, or y'all put me in, it makes it hard for me to see it and then add it to my story. So that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, please don't do that, because y'all are out here doing the damn thing. Y'all tag me and stuff. Y'all are doing like amazing shit. And I don't want it like clogged by like all of that. And I'm not, I don't want to be rude or mean. I don't want to clog by that at all.
A lot of us, we are, Angela, we are friends, but also like, I don't want to be tagged in all the giveaways. No. I hate those generally. I hate tag your friend giveaways. No product is worth inconveniencing people with notifications.
I'm trying to open my wine, so y'all about to see my ceiling while you explain what we're going to do today.
I was the same. Like, should we get into that? I kind of explained at the beginning, but actually, you know what? Earlier, I think Nusha was asking about the whole carrots and tacos thing. So there are emojis on YouTube. If you're in the chat, there's a little like he looks like a gumdrop, like a half circle with a face. If you click that, emojis will show up. And if anybody does not understand what carrots and tacos refer to, men have carrots and women, or some people have carrots and some people have tacos. Some people would say men have carrots and women have tacos, but I realize also that that is not actually the true answer to that question. So the carrot goes into the taco and creates sauce, as Audra would use as an example. I say it much less like, articulately, but I did explain it. And some have starfishes. Exactly. Yes, that was my very awkward, like, the was it the birds and the bees? Oh my god, I forgot what it was. It was like there's something in the bees.
I know, like the wasps and the bees, like
the butterflies and the bees, and there's cat butt time. But so today we were going to talk about kind of YouTube friendships and just how I think as kind of the more, I would say, the new, I said it in the thumbnail, the new guard looks at them versus kind of what we saw portrayed on with YouTube friendships with kind of the older creators and the old guard. So obviously it often, all of this ties back to kind of what's going on within the community, but more than anything, just the importance, like, too long didn't read of it all, is that YouTube friendships are super important, and for me, keep me on track in the ways I want to be with my channel. But yeah, so that's the topic that we're dealing with today.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, this doesn't just start from this, right? This starts from like the first Dramageddon, where we start realizing that like all of these people seem to be like holding shit on one another and have like emails and texts, and like they're saving it for in case shit, I guess. Which I just find that a very weird way to have a friendship. Like these people were like this online and all this stuff, and like they would be at events like smiling and kissing each other and like, oh, I love you so much, but and then online like, I love you. The second something like shit hits the fan, it's like they suddenly have voice notes and texts and DMs, and it's just a weird thing to me because I don't care. Like we could have the worst falling out, Emily, but there's zero. I'm just never going to be the kind of person that's ever like, well, let me just release this shit about you. And I feel like that's a very old way of behaving, because I feel like these people just really showed up at a time when like YouTube, like even I think Smokey Glow was talking about like YouTube only got big like 5 years ago, where it was like something where people were really like booming. And I feel like those people just came from a point where they thought that there wasn't enough room at the table. And so like you just had to be top dog, and either you were like top dog or you were nothing. And it's such a weird energy because you're seeing it just continuously happen with the same people is the thing, because you're not seeing this happen with any like these people. It's all of these people who've been on YouTube for a while. That includes Gabby Hanna. Like these people are constantly like showing off receipts, and I'm like, are people just not friends anymore? Like do people just not like be friends? Do they just not? What the fuck?
I think I actually think like so it's interesting you described it as like the old way. What I think about it is like the high school way of having friends, which is not actually having friends, always having this like bigger picture. If you want to talk about social climbers, this bigger picture, because it makes me think of high school in that like, yes, it's very immature because you're always wanting to climb to the top. In high school, maybe there's the top mean girl and the, I don't know, the fucking,
oh my God,
the fucking quarterback, the football player that you want to date. And so you're always like trying to get to that person or to that status. But the reality is that like, one, that is all bullshit. It's not actually satisfying, or if it is, you're probably as terrible as we think you are.
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
and two, like you're spending your whole life not really enjoying where you're at, and you're always just like, no, but I want to be friends with this person. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do that. And you're not even enjoying like the time that you're hanging out with the people you're calling friends right now, because you're always
Yeah.
thinking about that next step.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, sorry, I'm coming out on the porch right quick because I got a little,
Okay.
I got a little hole in there, and
Oh no, sometimes when Audra goes outside, she loses a little connection. Wait, let's see if she comes back. Sorry, y'all.
I forget that the
Rachel
internet does
Joy.
that when I go out there. So sorry.
That's okay. I thought you might like click back in because I know that happens on Marco Polo, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So we just jumped into it, Rachel. You're not Rachel Joy. You're not actually that late. We're talking about just kind of like having like friendships on YouTube and looking at how so many people have these like fake friendships where they're keeping receipts, they're keeping blackmail material, voice notes, and all of these things, and kind of just how we think that's incredibly toxic and not really
Shit,
a
stop.
true
Sorry.
friendships.
Not you. The internet.
I
Like
know.
it's doing like weird shit where it's like 5G, Wi-Fi, 5G, Wi-Fi. I'm like, just pick one. I don't care. Like,
You
just
might
pick
have to just
one.
turn one or the other off. Sometimes I
I
have to
think
do that if it's like sometimes I'll have my phone on airplane mode with the Wi-Fi connected because I just want it to have Wi-Fi and not try to keep searching for.
there we go. I figure I'll just use the 5G. That'll be easiest.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah,
I have that unlimited.
it gives me very Mean Girl vibes. And I do think that like YouTube friendships, yeah, how they compare to today versus back in the day, but I still think it's not even like today versus the old way. I think it's just like there's like the clout friendships that are not true friendships, and then
Yeah.
there is actually wanting to build a community and bond with people. And I think
Yeah.
that so many of these bigger YouTubers are only focused on clout. And
Yeah.
so their relationships are all toxic.
Yeah, because like if you look at it, like if you even look at, the Ice Queen versus, the Coffin King, what's really happening there is like everybody was
Oh,
they can
hey,
say,
Kara.
"Hi, Kara." Hi.
Miss
I feel like
Camping
such an
Kara, I
idiot.
hope you're good, enjoying your time.
But if you like
Like,
honestly, you look at that kind of stuff and you look at how that played out, and like it plays out like clout, right? Because realistically, if the Coffin King came knocking on my door, bitch, I am not home. I'm not
Coffin
home.
King.
I'm not home. Like I would never answer the door for that under zero circumstances, because I have to like actually like someone. And this is me. I actually have to like you to like want to collaborate with you and to want to spend time doing anything with you, because like if I don't like you, then this isn't worth it. Like it's going to
Yeah.
show in the collaboration. It's going to show every time we have to be in the same room together. I'm just like, ugh. Like I don't want to be
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and I think it's not even like being in the same room together. I think it's like I would never be able to Marco Polo 5 billion times a day with somebody that I didn't like. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, our friendship is a little like we got close pretty quickly, but even people that I find like are like I'm friendly with, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to Instagram message with people that I don't like. I don't like, I
Correct.
just, I'm not going to keep it up. I might, we might do a collaboration. Like my experience with when I have like collaborated with people and then kind of realized that I'm not quite on the same kind of vibe with that person. And it's not
Yeah.
happened a bunch of times. It's just like that moment of like, oh no, 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 actually no, no, this is not for me. And
Exactly.
so I can't imagine sitting around and like collecting receipts, recording all my phone calls, recording any voicemails that I got. Like I just uh,
I can't imagine
it's
it.
a whole other job.
And I don't understand like why. Here's the thing. If you're friends with people where you have to like do that, why are you friends? because like at the end of the day, like especially when it comes to like saying racist slurs and things like that, realistically, you're just as bad because you're hanging out with someone who does this, which means honestly, you're using that same language. You're doing the same shit to like assimilate with them, right? Like you're not hanging. Like I've used this analogy with Emily in private, but I've been like, listen, when I was younger, I used to hang out and like, get a little fucked up on some drugas, like I was having a good time. I was young. I was, but I didn't hang out with people who did that and not do it. Like that wasn't happening. I wasn't like magically chilling with a bunch of people at a rave who were rolling balls and I wasn't. Like that wasn't what was happening. So like the idea that like you can hang out with someone who was X and not be that way doesn't jive with me because I'm like, you are who the fuck you hang out with. Like people want to try to separate it, but you can't because I only like at this big age, I only hang out with people who enhance my life. I'm not going to hang out with you if you don't enhance my life. I don't. If you're just some giant piece of shit, like what is the point in our interactions? That's just draining for me. It's tiring, and I'm too old. I don't have time for that shit.
And I think that there's something when I agree with Daisy. I love when Audra speaks Spanish. I also think there's something about like, I definitely agree that your community speaks of your friends. I can look at someone's friends and kind of probably get to know who they are as a person if I know the friends, obviously.
Yeah.
But also a lot of times I feel like these kind of friendships where you're friends with somebody like Coffin King, like Dane Shawson, as T so eloquently named, you are the kind of person that you're going to be the one that's like, oh, but they're nice to me. Like I've never seen them do this or I've never seen them do that. And it's like, as soon as you say something like that, you're admitting that you just stop paying attention and that you are blind to their actual behaviors. And I've definitely been in friendships like that where I've had somebody else say like, oh, I had a moment where a really close friend of mine kind of met somebody who was a close-ish friend, and she had this interaction in this set in like a party setting where this other friend was very like basically all of a sudden who I'll call it ex-friend now got very territorial over her boyfriend because she thought my good friend was like trying to like pick him up or something.
Oh, that's so
and
weird.
I was like, and in the moment, I actually didn't fully notice it. Or we were at a party, and we were like an hour into the party, and my friend pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, is there something like is there something with the ex friend? Like she seems very," and I was like, "Oh, I hadn't noticed." And then when she mentioned something, and I made an effort to look, I was like, "Oh shit." She has been doing that. And I totally was blind to it as a friend because I was trying to see the best in this person. And I was just kind of like not seeing her fully. But then once I saw it, I was like, oh, no. This is not what we're doing here. Like, this is not the kind of friendships I'm in. I'm not in these kind of friendships where like there's this weird tension about your girlfriends being around someone else's boyfriend. Like, no, we're all adults here. No one's trying to take someone else's man or woman home. That's not how we do it. And so once it opened my eyes, I saw it. But in that moment, I definitely understood how you can become blind to what your friends are doing and all of a sudden endorse some bullshit ass behavior because you weren't paying enough attention. So all these people, they're like, oh, well, they were nice to me. I'm just like, one, either you look enough like them, they're not going to be racist or sexist towards you or whatever the people are getting accused of or have revealed themselves to be, or you just ignored it and you didn't realize that's what you were doing.
Exactly. I did it. Like
there we go. Yay!
Listen, have hands free. Like it took me a little bit. Like I had to go and put it together in my mind and be like, how do I make this happen? because I'm like, I also need to plug in the phone. Like I was thinking about all the things
Yes.
that I needed to
Yeah.
do. So,
Phones will lose charge with streaming pretty quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to do all this shit, and I just couldn't figure out how to make it happen. Yeah, I've done that too. Like with
Yeah.
friends, where like, and the thing is, I'm not going to be an ageist because you can be taken advantage of at any age, right? But like, you can't. At the end of the day, you still have to take responsibility for your actions, right? Like I still have to take responsibility for the fact that, like for instance, I used to ride motorcycles. One day I hope to again. Like, I hope to have my own Harley Davidson again. It was amazing when I had it. But I rode with people who would legitimately have like a Confederate flag badge on their vest. You know what I'm saying? And they would be nice to me, but at the same time, I was very much looking at this like, this is really weird. Like it's weird. It's a weird feeling that because I know. And the thing is, when I had Facebook, that shit would come out. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't. They're not racist, but they're racist. You know what I mean? So it was just like you're hanging out with these people, and the whole time, like I'm side eyeing, being like, I know what you're doing though, and I'm not a fool. So like it was just stuff where I had to like grab a hold of that and go, okay, I can't keep hanging out with people who don't have values aligned with mine. And so I look at these kinds of situations where you look at, the old school YouTube that has millions and millions of followers and subscribers. And you have to start realizing that like they just came from a dog eat dog world basically. And that's how they were behaving. And that's how they continue to behave. And that's what we keep running into the same bullshit with them over and over again because they're still behaving like that. They're still acting like there's not room at the table. It's fucking Mean Girls. Like that movie is so old. Get over it. Like stop trying to make fetch happen, bitches. Like
Thank you for saying it before I could. It was a movie. Like it was a movie. And Lydia asked, I do wonder if they think about it internet friends versus real life friends, influencer friends versus real friends. Here's the thing though, I think that also kind of touches on something for me. I've been a kind of a person of the internet for decades, what it feels like now. Definitely at least a decade and a half. And or actually no decades, but I've had internet friendships for at least 15 years. Internet friendships that turned into real life friendships and turned into real life friendships pretty quickly and pretty easily because we connected. So I don't think of internet friendships as separate from real friendships. And now because I'm friends with other influencers, other creators is what I prefer to call them, but other influencers, now influencer friends are becoming real life friends. So I also think that's a difference perhaps in the YouTube generations, is that some of the older guard is like, well, they're just my influencer friends. They're not real friends.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like Teresa, Lacey, Kara, Audra, Barry, Alex, like all these people are like real friends that I care about and love and feel deeply for.
Yeah, because like I talk to you every day. I talk to Kara every day. I talk to Teresa. I try not to bother Teresa as much because she's working a lot, but I talk to Teresa
Same.
fairly regularly. I talk to Britt Clark virtually every day. Like there's people on this platform that I talk to every day. These are my friends. So it's like I I don't differentiate because first of all, let me tell you, YouTube can be lonely as fuck. If you don't have friends when you're doing YouTube, it is lonely because most people just don't understand the woes of doing YouTube. They don't understand like the amount of time that you spend by yourself. They don't get excited by the things you get excited by. Like if you tell somebody like, "Oh my god, I hit 3,000 subscribers. It's like crazy." And they're like, "Okay." And you're like, "Never mind." You know what I mean? But like I can, get in touch with Emily and be like, "Holy shit, I'm at 3,400. Like what's going on?" And she's like, "Oh my god, that's amazing." And we like, cause we know what it means. Like we know that it means so many different things for you as a creator. So we're like, yeah, Voldemort.
Voldemort. Wait, who said it earlier in the chat? Because I saw somebody say it in a different chat, I feel like, and I was just like, Voldemorphy. That's amazing.
I love that.
I don't know where it came from, but I guess Rami originally said it. Oh yes, it was in T. Okay, it was in T's stream. Yeah, yeah.
Listen, credit is one of those things that has gotten out of hand, so we're not going to worry about it, okay?
his pet rat. Bleh. Yes.
Yeah, like, and that's what. So this whole situation that continues to happen,
Yes.
it bothers me because here's the thing. This isn't going to be the last of it. We know it's going to happen again because some other dipshit is going to get involved with the Coffin King, and they're going to get in underground with them. They're going to think that it's going to be fine, and then more bullshit's going to happen. And the reality is, when people are like, "How are they gaining subscribers?" and "How come this is?" It's their fans, like his fans, continue to watch and feed into that behavior, and that's how he works it. Like, and as someone once said, I don't know, but he who speaks last is the last person that they hear. So like, that's why you don't hear shit from him, because he's just waiting for everything to come out, and then he's going to drop whatever bullshit ass bombs he's going to drop, and then everybody's going to forget everything that Tati said and all the other people said against him, and it's just going to be back to business as normal. And I think that as a community, we really have to start saying, like, we're done. We don't want to deal with this, because I love the beauty community, the real one, not this like fake ass bullshit that's happening on the side between 4 and 5 people at a time. This community, the one where we play with makeup, the one where we review products, the one where we collaborate with one another joyously and have a good time, this is the community that I signed up for and that I enjoy. I don't like all that other stuff. As much fun as it is at times to like watch the train wreck, it starts getting tiresome after a point. You're like,
agreed.
So who the fuck else is having another problem with somebody else? And like, how many times are we going to have this problem?
So it's interesting. So one, I wouldn't touch on what Lisa Marie said, especially if it's your full-time job. I would imagine the best part of my job is my coworkers. I have like a very, like, I've had jobs where I have really disliked my coworkers, and I've had situations where I've had some really great coworkers. And so now to be in a space where I can choose who I want to friend up with in my coworker space, why would I not pick the people that inspire me the most, make me feel amazing? I can gas them up. Like, to be like, oh, I could be friends with Audra, or what? I could try to social climb and be friends with Laura Lee or somebody. No, I'm good. I'm good. But also, so Lydia says, I think you will have trash, selfish people in any profession. It's just weird that so many of them got to the top of the beauty community. But I think it's just like how we have celebrities acting like fucking assholes.
Yeah.
What you're seeing is the 1% of this beauty community, which is really just influencer community.
Yeah.
Just like how I don't want to be friends with most celebrities, because no, I don't want that. I think they're all toxic, and they might not be keeping receipts on each other, but their PR teams are. And so I think that happens. But at the same time, it's like, that is what happens when you become a celebrity in some ways, especially if you become a celebrity unchecked.
Yes. And that's also a big part of it. Yeah. Because yes, Heather's is like the original Mean Girls, BT Dubs. If you're young, watch Heather's. Like, that'll teach you.
Amazing.
That's the original Mean Girls. But you'll see him sleeping back there.
Yes. So many people right when you sat down were like, Bo.
So, I don't know. I think that it's to me, I think it's very dangerous to continue to behave that way, because you see, so for instance, first of all, I'm not a person who's ever going to be against drama channels, because I think that mentality is silly. Because at the end of the day, the drama channels, especially the good ones and even the bad ones, who cares? They're still drawing attention to poor behavior, right? So it keeps people, in a sense, accountable for how they behave. So if I were to suddenly get a big head because, oh my gosh, I have 10,000 subscribers. But anyways, if I were suddenly to get a big head because of it and think that I was just all that, this is where drama channels come in, and they keep everybody, holding themselves accountable. But I
those drama channels.
but they do feed into the whole drama. And like, yes, negative attention, but I'm not a person who ascribes to the idea that like negative attention is still attention that's good for me. I don't want negative attention. I don't, that's not a thing for me. I don't want to behave badly so that people will subscribe to my channel because like I'm an asshole, like Keemstar. But like, I don't want to behave like that because your audience is reflected back at you. So like, I can't imagine having the kind of audience that some of these people have, to where when you see them in public, they're like, ugh, you're just, ugh. Like if I'm just a total bitch all the time, mean and nasty, and then like I meet people who are subscribed to my channel and that's reflected back at me, that's not going to feel good to me. Like I'm not going to be happy about that. I'm not going to be like, yay. And so it's like having YouTube friends, which are my real friends, like I wouldn't have really started getting as much traction on playing with color if it wasn't for Emily. You know what I mean? Like Emily and I like were friends and we're hanging out, and I just started being like, oh, I'm playing this, and I would say like, oh, I feel really weird with this on. Like she's like, you just have to get used to it. Like I think you're fine. It looks really good. It looks really pretty. Like I don't know if you know that, but it looks good. And I'm like, I think it looks weird. And then the more that I kept doing it, the more that I was like, oh, you're right, it is pretty. Oh, you're right, it is pretty. Like, but it like that's something that's good about having these kinds of friends, because first of all, real life people wouldn't really know what to say to me. Like, and I mean that in just sitting here in front of me, non YouTube.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know really. They'd be like, I guess it's pretty. I'm like, well, but like, do you like it? Like, but do you like it? Like, do you like the wing? Do you like how I did the color combo? Like, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. You're like, I'm also kind of asking for feedback, and to say in a way, like being like, do you like it? And then seeing what people say. And I see what you're saying. So Nate says, I disagree a little. I love getting negative attention when I do something good. Like if I donate to X place and someone types a paragraph, I gotta laugh. The problem with negative attention though is that you can't control it. So you might like it in small doses, but if you are in a situation where drama channels or people on Reddit or people elsewhere around the internet, around the world, are constantly saying something negative about you, yes, your channel might grow, but your channel is also going to get flooded with negative comments because people are coming over to hate watch, or your Instagram is going to get flooded with negative comments. And that is why I also see so many people, as they're getting bigger, especially these like YouTubers that have been around for a long time, that kind of disconnect with their whole community. They don't look at comments. They don't interact on Instagram. They don't interact on any social media. And while I understand how overwhelming that must be, because I can't imagine the overwhelming feeling of having like 100,000 subscribers, no less, 1 million plus. But I also feel like there's a way to like try in some ways.
Yeah.
And I don't really see them doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, like I've been a little overwhelmed. Yeah, so I'll hit that in just a second, Angie.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I just wanted to highlight it so I didn't lose it. That's all.
But I have been a little overwhelmed with my comment section as of late, because I'm like, holy shit. Because for those of you that don't know, within a span of almost 2 weeks, I went from having like 1,300 subscribers to now having 3,400. The amount, like, I love the love on the comments, but like all of a sudden I'm like, so I've reached weird stages now where I'm like, okay, I have to pick and choose kind of who I'm going to respond to, because I can't like respond to everybody like I used to. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It just depends. Like on days where I'm filming 2 and 3 videos at a time, I can't. But like when it comes to that, why didn't anyone have a problem? We did.
Yeah, exactly.
We did. That's the thing, is we did have a problem with Amy Dawson, but nobody gave a shit because he portrayed his like, I don't fucking bathe. Like I'm just a poor innocent little schmo. Like that was his whole act. And every time somebody brought it up, it would be like, they apologize, as if that fixes it. Like I hate that behavior. Like they apologize. I don't care if you apologize. Because here's the thing. I don't care if he apologized, because he left that shit up on his channel the whole time. like the whole
and
time.
made so much money off of it.
Yeah.
So much money.
Continued to make money off of the merch, like all of this stuff. So like, you can't tell me like a whole lot of stuff. I don't know if you saw it, but popped off with Sam Ravindall and whatnot. I'm not going to get deep into it, but the difference here is Sam had a thing that happened to her, and she apologized for said thing. She then went on to change her behavior and grow as a person and change how she views the community and the culture, and works very hard to be inclusive and all of this kind of stuff. So you can see someone going to the lengths that they need to apologize and then change. Yeah. You look over at these people, they apologize and keep doing the same shit. Like nothing changes. They're like, I'm so sorry if I offended you. Now I'm going to do it again. And like that.
But did he? Okay, so with Dane Shawson in particular, I could be wrong. I don't feel like he ever apologized, but at the same time, he's a white man that has money and has been on the internet for a long time. Mm-hmm. Nobody believes Black women or black people in general, and he also, this goes back to this infantilized version of himself that he has made him. I think there's something to do with the fact that his whole persona is like, oh my God, I don't know how to do anything. I don't know. He's a man baby. He's a living, he has made himself into a living, walking man baby. And there's something about that action that has made him this weird, like, for a while, it made him bulletproof. It made him like, he could get away with whatever. And it was kind of just like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't take a shower and like look at my silly videos talking about Chuck E. Cheese pizza slices. Like, I don't truly understand why he got away with it, besides that he is a white man that had like money and status, even though he tries to portray himself not having that. But that's my take on that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would wholeheartedly agree on that. I'm moving this down so I can stop staring up like some kind of weirdo. Because I look like a baby bird about to like do something dirty. So anyways.
Oh yes, and as Lydia said, that part I forgot. The I have anxiety. That's part of it. That's the like, I have anxiety. I don't like myself. I'm a man baby. Like, I can't take shit. And it's just like,
yeah, like that kind of shit. Like, and this is what people continuously excuse though. They're like, no, you don't understand. Like, he's so sensitive. That's my favorite. He's so sensitive. I'm like, how? Like, bitch, how? Like, how is that my problem? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care.
I don't care either.
Rude, but like, I literally don't care. I'm sorry y'all can't see me right now. I'm trying to fix this thing. I have no idea
as I've said many times, I'm a very sensitive person, and I don't always portray that, but that's because sometimes you have to be like, no, fuck you on the internet, because that, I mean, I don't actually say that to people, but like, if I get a shitty comment, sometimes I'm like, fuck this person, to like Audra, but I'm not gonna be like, go fuck yourself. It's just like, I understand feeling things, but I agree with Snapes. He claims to be an empath. Bishware. Like, it's such an act, and I'm trying to think, like, was his whole thing, I feel like for him right now, did that all come to a head? Was it because of Tati? My brain can't think of that. Because again, if that is the case, then that proves how people only listen to white women, particularly rich white women.
Yes, it does. Sorry, you're still seeing my wool, but it does prove that case, right? Because here we are, like, many people have said repeatedly, like, listen, this guy is a dirtbag. He does this, he does that. And like, nobody cares, right? But then the second, you have the, poor Winter Queen coming out being like, you guys, like, I don't know what I was doing. Like, suddenly everybody cares. And you're like, the fuck? Like, we've been saying it. People have been saying that for a long time, and nobody cared until, like, it was time to take down the Coffin King. And that's really what's going on here, is like, people are ready to take down the Coffin King. And since they're ready to take him down, then I'm going to hide the video and then fix this.
No problem.
But can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. But then I'm like, what's happening? I don't know how technology works. I'm old and scared.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
frightened by the technology. But it's like she comes along and starts trying to tell everybody all this shit, and suddenly everybody gives a fuck. I'm not trying to hear that. Like, I'm just not. Like, that's my problem. Is like, I can forgive a lot of things from a lot of people. I really can. There's like so much that I can be like, oh, I forgive this, I forgive that. But I really just can't continuously forgive like this kind of behavior, because at the end of the day, she chose a racist over a female in the industry, like in the community. She
Yeah,
made a choice
exactly.
to choose to like, she chose money. I don't care. Like, we can all have our different opinions, whatever. But at the very end of the day, she chose to support a known racist in favor, like that was her choice, instead of another female, regardless of shade, but instead of another female in the same community, just like left another female the fuck behind. Like, I can't forgive that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I agree with, so I realized Lydia answered my question. It was the cash grab and run was the final straw. His manifesto was what's like spawned this like people revealing his past. But I still feel like it focuses on like rich white women being the reason why shit got like people are finally listening, when, as so many people in the chat have been saying, people have been talking about Shane for a decade and his bullshit. Hello again.
Hi.
uh,
I don't
and
know if I
and
fixed
I
them.
Oh yeah, you look good. And I also agree that like I don't have any sympathy for Tati. I think that she knew she was walking into a toxic relationship with a manipulator before she did it. Whatever
Yeah,
happened in that moment in that relationship, I have no idea. Could
correct.
she have been gaslit? Sure. Manipulated? Sure. But she chose. She entered as Cheska Lee, who's an amazing writer, creator, person on the internet and in real life, said it's becoming friends with the face eating leopard and then being shocked that the face eating leopard ate your face.
Correct. Like, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, and again, I can't know what it is that she's going
Yeah.
through or what happened, because I'm not her. But I'm going to tell you, and this isn't me being like, I won't be manipulated. I'm going to tell you that in that situation, I would know what I was walking into. Like, I would know that the choices that I was making were about me. They were about me. They were about what I wanted. They were about me wanting to be part of everything, especially when I hadn't been. And I would know that I was making that choice for myself. So it's like when you like the apology to Jackie, I shouldn't just be like, I'm sorry that I didn't listen. It really needs to be, I'm sorry that I chose a racist over another female in the beauty community, because we have it hard enough. We're
Yeah.
constantly overtaken by males in this community, and I'm sorry I didn't believe you as a female. And we have such a hard time, and we're always struggling just to make it. Well, boys in beauty just show the fuck up, and they're like, "Hey, I'm a dude. I'm a white cis male." Like, like,
Yeah.
and
But
then
I wonder if Tati even has the, and this is not just like to insult her, but I wonder if she has the like knowledge or the, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know if she understands the idea of the glass elevator and how men in beauty rise up. Like, I know she was frustrated with James, and I know a lot of women in beauty are like, I like get frustrated with men in beauty getting success so quickly, but I feel like sometimes they don't actually understand that it's a systemic issue, that it's
yeah,
ingrained into how this country and this world is built. And so
yeah,
sometimes I see like frustration about men in beauty, but I don't see like an understanding. And this is not just about Tati, but in general. But I
yeah,
don't see people having an understanding of like, this isn't just a James thing, a Jeffrey thing, a Gabriel Zamora. Like, it's not just that specific person. It's
correct.
a systemic issue that people
Yeah.
don't like to talk about, because people feel overwhelmed and they're like, I'm not going to be able to change the system, so I'm just going to rail on this one person.
Well, yeah, because if you look at it, I mean, honestly, think about the fact that, like, Hiram, for instance, no tea, no shade, Hiram. If you ever see this, don't come for me. I'm mad at you. I like a little dude.
Same.
But Hiram skyrocketed. Like, literally, it felt like he came out of nowhere and was just like, I'm Hiram. I have 1 million subscribers. And we're like, what? That rarely happens for women at all on this platform. Like, women do not see this success. Women do not skyrocket. Like, I would be hard pressed to even see 10,000 subscribers this time next year. Like, I would be hard pressed to see it because, like, and if I make a mistake, well, I'm doubly fucked at that point, because as a woman, when we make mistakes, we must kneel before our creator. Okay.
And even then,
clean
exactly.
Like, wash the toes, feed them grapes. Like, that's where we are.
Yeah. Like, there's just so much there. Tracy. I'm just gonna laugh. That's all.
Can I pretend it's a nice word?
Yeah, and this, like, Feffy says Tati had been acting wild before the Bi Sister video, though. I remember her crying on Snapchat because someone in the comments called her racist, like, legit buckets of tears. That's why, like, I don't feel, the whole thing is, like, just feels like an act to me. Whether it is an act or not, I have no idea. Whether that's truly who she has turned into, that still doesn't make it right. This, like, victimized white woman, everything that I just did to try to make people better.
Well, yeah, because first of all, it's not Build-A-Bear, so we'll just start there. Like, that's not how this shit works. It's not Build-A-Bear. You don't go around building, especially men. You don't go around building a man up. Like, that's not. You don't change a man like that. I don't know where that came from, because, like, I'm older than she is. I'm not saying she wouldn't know that, but I'm just like, I'm 40 years old. I have long since learned you don't build a man. That's fucking ridiculous. What are you doing with your life? But, like, but you don't ever, like, you can't go into any relationship of any form with the idea that you're gonna help them change or grow. Like, that's not, like, and that's quick side note, like, that's why so many Black people are like, please don't come to us asking, how we can help you with understanding Blackness and understanding racism, because it's not my job. Like, my job is not to help you grow and change, right? Like, if something I say helps you grow and change, awesome. If it leads you down the path of seeking more information, great. But, like, it's not my job to do that. And so, like, you have to have that same energy for other people. Like, it is not your job to go fix somebody, right? So if you go into it and you're looking at it from a friendship level, that's not a friendship anymore. Like, that's some weird shit you're on at that point. And I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, you're over here trying to be friends with a snake, and then surprise, the snake bit you. Like, I can't understand. Like, that's what snakes do. They're venomous, and you're like, oh my God. And you're like, over there, poison's going through your vein. You're like, I'm so surprised. And it's just like, but that's what snakes do. Like, why are you surprised? We're all confused.
You're like, I thought I had the antidote. And you're like, nope, that one doesn't work. Sorry.
Yeah, but like, wrong snake.
I also think a lot of her behaviors tie back to this topic of friendships within YouTube, of like having sincere friends, especially within the community, is a big deal. Because now, I'm not saying Tati would have changed what she did, but I feel like in a situation like us, let's say we were both at a larger scale of a platform, and one of us started becoming friendly with somebody else on the platform that has a history of even just drama of racist or troubling behavior, like, not even to the extreme of Jeffrey. I feel like the other one, or like multiple of us within our friend group, would probably step back and be like, do you see what's happening? Like, I think we should say something. Like, should we try to talk to this friend? Like, should we, like, should we try to have a conversation just to make sure just let's see what's going on. And sometimes it's a group thing. It's a like, if I was up to some shit, I could see you and Kara being like, no, we need to have a conversation. Like come here. Like we need to talk. And I feel like with somebody like Tati, who has I don't know for sure, but I feel like has maybe separated herself some from the rest of the community in some ways, to then fall into these traps of these friendships with and like take on a mentor role with James, to become friends with Jeffrey. She didn't have friends in her life within the same community that could be like, hey, what's going on? Like, let's pause. Like, let's take a step back, because just your regular friends that are a little less aware of some of the inner workings of YouTube might see like, oh my God, you're friends with somebody that has, 10 million subscribers and you only have 1 million. That's amazing. Like, congratulations. Like, get that coin. But other people that actually understand the community might be like,
What?
did you gotta do that?
Well, yeah, because I think it makes a difference, right? Because when you have people in this community that you are friends with and that you're regularly in communication with, like you said, like if I was up to some shit, you would be able to tell me. You would be able to say like, hey, Audra, I think you're making a mistake. Like, I see that you're changing, and the ways that you're changing aren't great. Like, I love you. And I would have to like take steps back and look at myself. If you don't have those kinds of friends, again, I don't know Tati, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But if you don't have those kinds of friends, when you walk into this, because like I will say it this way: if I had been a friend to said woman Tati, I would have been like, first of all, her mentorship with James, I'd been like, yeah, don't do that. There's no reason for you to be hanging out with a kid that age. Like, it's awkward. It's weird. You got to think about how it's going to look to everybody. Like, it's just like, don't fuck with that. Like, be friendly, but don't get too weird. And then, obviously with Voldemorphy, I definitely would have been like, don't fuck with that. Listen, I know that, there are things going on in your career, because there's things, she was successful in her own right.
Yeah.
And like just kind of threw that out the window, and all of this shit just keeps happening. And I think the worst thing is that it's even harder to believe her after that whole other scandal. So like this one comes and it's like, yeah, you want to believe her, but at the same time, I believed you last time. And look what the fuck happened to me. I end up looking like a fool with egg on my face. Also, that's my fault for being nosy. So
same.
Like, I can't get too mad because I was being a nosy bitch. So
I'm like, I dived right into that drama and I wanted to know it, and I listened, and I'm doing it again, but I'm trying not to like. And this conversation is not just specifically about like Tati and Voldemorphy and Jimmy Chuck, as people have called him. Like, this is just about the bigger like YouTube universe. And I think the universe of like friendships, especially friendships with the internet, friendships within your industry. Like, there are times when you're gonna, perhaps come across somebody who is in a totally different part. Like, they're in your industry, but they're way above you in terms of where they are. Either they own their own business and they're doing amazing shit and you're really inspired by them, or something else. You're going to come across people that may kind of like entice you in and trance you, but you need a strong community, a strong network that can like make sure they're actually asking you the important questions of like, okay, so who is this person? Like, tell me about them. Like, give me more information, because it's not just a YouTube thing. This is a bigger, this is the universe right now.
Especially like because we're all in lockdown, right? So even things like trying to date right now, like there are people legitimately having like relationships almost with people that they've never actually met in person, because they were scheduled to meet in person, and then all of this happened, right? So you've just been like talking back and forth on various apps, or you've graduated to texting one another.
Yeah.
So your parts are out there. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
I love it.
But you're out there, you're doing the damn thing, you're sending your nudes, it's fine, do you? But like, as long as you're of age.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
I had to like clarify that. But we have to start learning more and more about judging people and getting a sense of a person without actually having like met them, right? So even if you're doing like Marco Polo, for instance, it's having to like learn to figure out someone's characteristics and all this kind of stuff that you would normally be able to get better cues on in person, but can't. And so looking at all of this, especially when we're talking about it from the old guard YouTube, you have like the Gabby Hanna situations where she's just always running into some kind of shit we don't know why. We really don't. It's weird. I don't know what's wrong with her, but we'll move on from that. What is a Gabby Hanna, anyways? I've never seen like thing one.
I don't watch her videos.
Am I just too old for that? I think I'm too old for that.
I'm gonna say I'm too old for that too.
Yeah. I don't know what that channel does, but I have heard that she can't sing, so I'm going to move on from there. Anyways, but it's just like you have these people who feel like their whole persona is in creating negative attention around themselves. And when you're in your everyday friendships and relationships, you do have to watch out for people who are like that, who always have negativity around them. Get them the fuck out of your life. Because those people are never going to stop. Everything will be about them. Everything that happens is them. There's no reason for that.
Exactly. You do not need that in your life. I agree with that completely. Yeah, I just have heard terrible thing after terrible thing, and I'm like, I'm good. I don't need that person in my life. I'm okay. I'm not even curious enough to be like, I want to see your content to see what kind of fuckery you're up to. No, I'm good.
I did the same thing with Trisha Paytas. Like I had no desire to
no.
it. Like I don't really understand. Like I just understand that she's a privileged white woman. Like that's all I know. Fuck your Amber Alerts. There's a lot of them.
Yep. That pretty much says it all. From the little that I've seen about her, she's a privileged white troll.
Yes, not in appearance, but like the internet.
An internet troll.
Well, I had to throw that out.
I appreciate you clarifying that because yes, there are many things wrong with people that I like to criticize. Appearance is not one. Appearance doesn't make a difference.
Today, where I did that one time, but it was in relation to being able to enjoy something, so that's fine. But I mean, like all these people, and that's the weird thing is like I hear about a lot of these people from drama. Oh, snap! I cannot breathe.
I mean, I don't disagree. Just gonna say.
I think it's because
and I don't know her. It's great.
She's always making an expression. To me, every photo that I've seen of her, it kind of looks like she is holding a fart. So anyways, we're going to move on. Like, I don't know. I don't know her. I don't know. But like, I just feel like there's all this whole old guard of YouTube. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about it, because there's like so many of these people. I only hear about them on drama channels, and then I'm like, but I'm still never interested in trying to check out their content. Like agreed. I hear about Trisha Paytas all the time. I haven't seen like 1 ounce of her. Like I've never clicked on her content ever. I've never searched her. Like it's never happened. We've got the proof.
Let it go. From caffeine and sarcasm. She better not hold that part too long. She'll combust. I mean, I think that's kind of what's happening to her these days, from what I hear. Yeah, I had heard like things here and there about her, and then I heard about Jessie Smiles and Gabby and victim blaming, and I was just like, I'm out. I'm trash.
I think the first time I heard about her is from like, it may have been back when I was listening to The Viewer's Voice, Nick Snyder, and he was talking about the trashy ass brushes that she tried to pass off, and this bitch jumped straight up and tell people like manage your expectations. I was like, bitch, are you serious? Like I can't.
Like I cannot manage your expectations. Excuse
You
me?
scammed a bunch of
Excuse me?
motherfuckers and then told them to manage their expectations. Like, you told people that these brushes were quality as fuck for $10, and then when they got them and they were shit, like those who did get them, when you got them and they were shit, you were like, manage your expectations, bitch. Like, no. They told you
Yeah,
I'm the queen
no.
of sound effects. I'm the queen
I
of
love
like.
it. It's the best.
But yeah, so that's
Um,
the other weird thing about like friendship in general is like how many of these people, like I guess when you look at it, I've never looked at their content, not once. Like here's a fun fact: I've never actually watched Jaclyn Hill content. The only
oh, you're
content I
lucky.
have seen of Jaclyn Hill has been from any drama channel or like when Robert Welsh did a react. Like I've never actually watched her
Yeah.
channel, like ever.
You're not missing out. I used to watch her, but I watched her prime, like her big Morphe, like the white packaging Morphe palette. The Did I watch her? I guess around Becca. Yeah, I watched her when she was doing the champagne pop stuff because I was like, that's such a pretty highlighter, but like I don't trust it on my pale ass skin. And she kept saying, like, it's for everyone, it's forever. I felt like that was the big thing. Like it works on everybody. And I remember going into Sephora and like I swatched that highlighter so many times. I'm like, this looks like literal, like I can see it. It's a stripe. Like that's not a highlighter on me. That's a metal stripe on me.
You're like
So it was just
genuinely
like
inside. You're like,
I'm just like, yeah, so you're full of shit. And now I know that. And from then on out, I was pretty much like, yeah, I don't trust this woman as far as I can throw her, which is not very far at all. So yeah. But that's the thing is like there are so
I
many
think I
people
just
where I'm
throw
like,
pretty
yeah, I'm not
far.
interested. You
I'm
look
so
like you're pretty
sorry.
strong.
I'm like,
You
I
look
feel
pretty
like,
strong.
I feel like I might be able to throw like a little bit far. Like I pick up Bo regularly, like just whoa, just like wow, like because he gets like a little. So I think that I can pick her up and throw pretty far. Like I feel confident about this. I'm not advocating violence. I was just saying if there were a Jacqueline tossing contest, that it'd
I
make
feel
it
like I
better.
have to clarify. I'm not advocating violence. Just saying.
And then I tried to make it better by like, if there was a Jacqueline tossing contest. Like, wait, hold, please hold when I access your account.
I love that you say that. I don't know why that makes me so happy, but it does.
I don't know why I do it. Like, it's just a weird thing that I just randomly started doing whenever I get confused about life. I'm like, please hold while I access your account.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I would agree. I never got into Trisha, Tana,
Yeah, me
Shane,
neither.
or Gabby. No, I was just, and I remember with Mr. Dane Charleston, I used to see him on that YouTubers React show, and that's why. And I think I've talked to you about this, Audra, where I'm just like, he showed me in that like YouTubers React just how much of a like standard terrible douchebag, disgusting man of the world he was in
Yeah.
that series. And so this whole like man baby part of him, I'm like, this is such a character. Like, I think Georgia Harris
Nah.
tweeted this where she's like, if you want to see who he really is, watch those React videos and you will see it.
I don't understand Tana. Is it Tana Mojo? Tana, because it's
Yeah,
spelled weird. It's spelled, like there's
yeah.
an Anthony
I don't
Mojo, there's
understand her either.
a Mongoose, whatever. But the point is, I don't understand. Like I watch her I've watched all of her shows because of Luke Alexander. Like I've never actually gone to Tana's channel where like everything I know about her and all of the show because he did a reaction to like her horrifying show.
Oh,
Good gracious. Like if you want to see a train wreck and a half and not actually have to watch the train wreck and then watch like Luke be like, Tavian, like that is it, like this is why I love these kind of react channels or like these commentary channels that do this because like it saves me from watching shitty creators and like that's the good thing. Like this is how we
yes.
get rid of these guys. Stop watching their shit and watch other people react to it and never watch their shit. Like, never
I
watch
agree
it.
with that.
If you want to get rid of the coffin king or he who rises from the grave, however you want to put it, but if you want to get rid of them, don't watch their shit. Watch other people react to their shit. Give those people the view.
I completely agree with that. And I agree with Tracy. I'm not perfect, but I cannot recall a time when it become accidentally, temporarily racist. Exactly.
It's never happened to me. Listen,
No.
I have done, a lot of things in my life. I have been under several influences. That's me winking. I'm winking at you. Okay. Several influences. Because winking is not my skill. I've been under so many influences. But let me tell you what I've never had happen under the influence of any of those things. I've never become racist. I've never thrown out racial slurs. Like, it's never happened. Like, I have never been so drunk that I'm like, and now it's time to be racist. Like, that's never happened to me. I'm never like, ooh, this shot gonna make me racist as fuck. Like, I'm like, it's never happened. I mean, has anybody been at the bar be like, oh, this next shot gonna make me racist, bitches? Like,
I just love how you say it like you're planning it out, like that's what's gonna happen. Not that it happened, not like, oh, this shot made me racist as fuck. No, like this is about to happen.
Because like I relate it to like back in the day bar culture, right? Where you're like, oh shit, I'm about to get slutty off this shot. We'd be like, oh, I'm gonna get dirty. And now these people are just literally over here, just like, I'm about to get racist off this shot. Like, I'm about to start calling people everything. And you're like, what? Like, just looking at like, how is this shot gonna make you racist? I thought it would make you like a little warmed. Maybe you want to take your top off, but I didn't know it was gonna make you throw out racial slurs. Like, then don't have the shot. Like,
also, Feppy, you're right. So don't watch those React videos. But yeah, that puppet show was that
exactly.
So that's I agree with Rami. I feel like your inner demons come out when you're drunk, so it's probably a good tell. Like, yeah, exactly. Also, I agree with this. Racism was never okay. The fact that people are like, "Oh, it was a different time," I'm like,
no. I'm just gonna say this to y'all right now. There never was ever a time that blackface was funny. Ever. It was used by oppressive racist people to make fun of black people, but it was never funny. And it's never going to be funny. There's not a time where I'm going to be like, oh my God, that blackface is lit. Like, that's not going to happen. So like, it was never funny. The fact that people, because here's the thing about like crude humor that used to be funny, because people want to use like Sam Kinison, Andrew Dice Clay, they want to use Richard Pryor, like, oh, well, that wouldn't fly now. I'm like, no, it still flies now. That's the thing, is like, it still flies now, one, because most of it's still fucking true. But that kind of comedy did not hinge on horrifying stereotypes or being a shit. It was provocative. Yes.
Yeah.
It was rowdy. Yes. It wasn't blackface. Okay. It wasn't blackface. So you cannot compare the things. You cannot be like, that was a different time. I'm like, comedy was crazy then. No. And please, if I see one more person try to say like Robert Downey Jr. wore blackface, you missed the point of that movie. There was a whole point to that. And if for anybody who doesn't know, the point was very accurately portrayed that it was ridiculous that in Hollywood, a black person couldn't go for a role as a black person, and instead a white person was going for a role as a black person. Like, if that shit is not true.
That movie because I heard so much shit about it, like not in particular, but I was just like, I'm good. I'm okay.
That is actually a very funny satire. It is like the whole point of his character was just proving a lot of different things about like celebrities and Hollywood culture that a lot of people just didn't get when they watched it. And the idea of a white guy playing a black guy, we're like that's not unheard of. because realistically they just change instead of changing the race of the character in this movie like they do, like when Scarlett Johansson played an Asian character. What? But when that happened, also Emma Stone. Oh, they didn't just whitewash it this time. They were like, this is what it looks like when we do this, and like that, it was actually quite funny. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's such a weird thing too, when people are like, "Oh, it's funny," and I'm like, I just want to tell you right quick that like we used to call people Oriental, and then we realized it wasn't okay, and that's China, and then like that's like a rug, and like that you don't call people that because there's not an Orient, number one.
And there's more countries in that in like that area of the world than just China, just like Oriental. Like, no, you don't have to lump it all together.
Because there's a lot of things we used to say back in the day that's not okay now, like the F word that rhymes with hag. We used to say that like it wasn't nobody's business. And especially when we found out that that means cigarette in England, like we lost our whole shit. Like we were all like,
we're like, it's totally okay to say it now.
Yeah, like we thought we were so cool. But, and like, honestly, it stings. Like for now, like there are movies that I will watch right now. Like, can't hardly wait. I still like enjoy to watch like that movie. That sounded very much like I didn't know English. Moving on, but I enjoy watching that movie. But there is a scene where where somebody yells that at Mike Dexter. They're like F, and it like kind of stings. Where you're like, ugh, because we don't do that. And the fact that it was constantly portrayed in movies all the way up to that big time, because I feel like that was 96, 99, between that time period, at that big time that we were still throwing that word around. Like, come on now.
I feel like even after that, it was pretty, I don't know, I feel like it was still pretty common too.
Oh yeah, it's still, like, people still say it, and you're just like, really, dude? Like, it's not 1984. Let it go.
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Is the chat going? Like, I can't see any of that because, like, oh wow.
I don't know them.
I don't know.
Has anything from the 90s aged well?
Me.
Good question. Hey, good point. Good point. What is Rachel Joy says? Bassoon. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Alex asks, how did people feel about Zoe Saldana portraying Nina Simone? My friend in high school who happens to be black made an argument it wasn't technically blackface because Zoe is black.
So I have the thing. So, for instance, like biracial people aren't black, they're biracial. And I say that not in a divisionist way, but in a way to like explain why, for instance, people may not understand that black people get upset about like black representation on television and movies, because all of that space is taken up by biracial people. That's not black people, right? I mean, here's my problem: is always Hollywood is always doing this. Always, it's never not going to be Hollywood putting in the lightest skinned black person, blackish person that they can put in. They're just going to keep doing it. Like they don't care they don't care how anybody feels. Unless it's Sonic the Hedgehog, then fucking fix that. But otherwise they don't care. Like,
terrible. Yeah.
Like, otherwise they're just like, we're going to do what we want. Because if they cared, they wouldn't continuously do this to characters over and over again. Like if you watch the original Batman, Harvey Dent was played by a black man, okay? And now I can't remember his name, and he's fucking iconic. But like, played by and he used to do Colt 45, that guy. So anyways, but then when they started creating more and more of the series, somewhere in like, I don't know, 3 or 4, like, can't remember, back when it was still Joel Schumacher, when he just ruined it, suddenly Harvey Dent's a white guy. And then, like, Harvey Dent can do, and it doesn't matter what it was in the comic book. What I'm saying is, Billy D. Williams, thank you, ma'am. Billy D. Williams originally played Harvey Dent, and I'm not hitting the comic book portion of it. I'm just saying that's who played him. that was that was a big deal at that point in time too. And then to switch and change him to a white character in the movies, I don't care about the comic book. What I'm saying is cohesiveness across the films, and you changed it. So like this is just a normal occurrence that honestly, as a Black person, I'm so used to it, it just doesn't even faze me anymore. I have reached a stage now where I'm like, oh look, they're gonna use like someone else who's fairly light skinned and not exactly Black. That's fine. You do you. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't have any effort anymore to like get outraged, because that's what people want anyway, is for us to get outraged, and they want us to get angry because that sells tickets and that gets buzz going. I'm not going to get mad about it anymore. Like, y'all do you. I have plenty of movies that have an all Black cast, so Deliver Us from Eva is one of them. So, and I will continue to watch that movie because it's one of my favorites. But
I mention that one a lot, for sure.
That is one of my favorite movies. Like, it's literally the only rom-com I actually truly enjoy. Like,
I feel like a lot of people in chat are like Billy is a smooth, sexy man.
Yes, he'd be like, have some Colt 45. I feel like he was speaking up. I feel like he was smooth.
I think he's had too many Colt 45s. Oh, good night, Barry. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Good night, Barry.
Oh my goodness. I'm just laughing at that invitation. So good. Also, a couple people said that 90s alt rock aged well.
It did. So, it did. Yeah, 90s alt rock. Listen, I love 90s. Like, I love 90s music, just generally. It was a great time for music. Even the one-hit wonders were the shit. It was a fantastic time for music. Like, it was just, everybody was like letting their feelings out, and like sometimes people were even like, they were saying words, but it was like, I know people love Pearl Jam, but fuck that. Like, I never understood Eddie Vedder. Like, I still don't for the most part. Listen, I don't know what he's saying.
You need to. Can you just rock out without words?
Yeah, like, because the music was good. Like, that's why everybody loves Pearl Jam. Like, everybody who's like, I love Eddie Vedder. I'm like, why? It was the music. Eddie Vedder looked like a Muppet. True. Like, no, I wasn't into it. But like,
so many people that are like, I love the lead singer, and I'm like, you love the music. You don't even love the lead singer. You just love them because they're the lead singer.
Well, I will say I did absolutely love Art Alexakis from Everclear, but that was specifically because he had a song about like the troubles that he was having because he had a Black girlfriend. And I was like, Art, are you singing about me?
Oh, this is a lovely idea. And a live where you roast 90s music.
How can I roast it, Daisy? It's like fabulous.
We can roast in love.
I actually can roast. Like, there's
I know you could roast. Yes.
Barbie Girl is like one of those songs where you're just like, why were we listening to this? Also, Cotton Eye Joe. Why is that song so fucking catchy? Like, somebody.
That song. Also, Barbie Girl. Oh no, that was 97. Okay, yeah. It was like, that was veering into the 2000s, but it was still
Barbie Girl was like, I remember that because like Barbie Girl, Cotton Eye Joe, and I like.
I like that in a way that you roast marshmallows. Exactly, roast it in like a fun way. Exactly.
Because Cotton Eye Joe, I don't know if many people know that, but that band, like the group who did that, they weren't even American. Like, and the whole song sounds like very like down south, like techno southern country shit, and it's just not like, it's so weird.
It's fucking terrible. It's like a terrible song, and
oh my God,
don't even like to think about it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. If Cotton Eye Joe comes on, I'm gonna get crunk. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna like hop around. I'm gonna kick my leg out. Listen, I'm from the South. Don't fuck with me. I'm gonna get crunk on Cotton Eye Joe. I don't care. If we're at Tees, if we're able to actually go and like meet people and like all that stuff. Listen, if Cotton Eye Joe comes on, things are gonna get the Vanga boys. The Vanga buses coming. Everybody stop it. I fucking love that. Somebody needs to remake that. Like,
you're welcome, Angie. You're welcome.
but I feel like somebody kind of did. Remember that song? It was like, boom, 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 boom. I wanna go boom, boom. Like,
Isn't it ironic?
and like that whole song to this day, I like that Alanis makes fun of it now because we're like, this isn't irony. This is just bad circumstances.
And she's had to hear that for like 30 years, probably now.
I know. Because like when you listen to the song, and she would just be like, it's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. You're like, no, that's just like unfortunate. Like
that's just annoying as fuck.
Yeah. You're like,
put on yellow nails while we were live streaming.
Yes.
Hey. Okay. I'm covered in nail glue though. That's fine.
I was like, girl, irony is when like you needed a knife.
I want you in my room. That's when the lights from now until forever. Boom, boom, boom. Oh my god, we're gonna get demonetized for money for songs.
I stuck back with so much spit, I'm dying. I just like when I read it, I oh my god, I'm dying.
Also, there was like a resurgence of like electric slide for the 90s.
Also, all the lycra, all of it.
Also, this song.
Yes, I'm blue and daboo dee daboo die. Listen, that's my jam because I like that he goes, blew his house with a blue little window. Like.
Also, this is a great song, Torn. I'm pretty sure that was the 90s.
Yes, it was because that was in that dirty girl. We're super skinny. We like don't really brush our hair, but we do brush our hair. But also we're like slithering across things. That like Natalie Imbruglia, you had Fiona Apple, Jewel was into that. Like they were all slithering skinnily across things. They were all like very skinny, slinking around.
But I feel like Natalie Imbruglia was like slightly more like Fiona Apple is like the extreme, and Natalie Imbruglia was like the like acceptable version of it in some weird way. Like Fiona Apple was kind of like weird to be weird. I love Fiona Apple.
She was
like,
more dirty. She was the dirtiest version. Dirty.
Yeah.
Then you had like the middle version, which was Natalie Imbruglia. And then over here you had Jewel, who was like, I slept in my van. Like, here's the thing about that story that was fucking annoying to me. I remember this back in the day. We're like, she lived in her van. She didn't have to live in her van. She chose to live in her van, y'all. She chose. Okay.
Y'all coming through with the lyrics in the chat is like too good.
Don't fuck with Oasis or we will have words, because Oasis, they were my god. Like, I spent all this time learning all kinds of shit about Oasis because I was convinced that I was going to marry Liam Gallagher and his one eyebrow, and that was going to happen. Like, we were going to have caterpillar browed children. They were just going to come out like an eyebrow. Like, and I could pass that. I could pass hair. So the point was,
oh my god.
I love Good Charlotte. I was a huge Good Charlotte fan. I like the Gorillaz because, like, I'm happy, I'm feeling sad, I got sunshine. That was my jam. But that was really just Damon Albarn from Woohoo! When I'm in Needles. Yeah, so that was the thing. Yes, like Christina Aguilera, because then didn't like what's that other chick? I am uncertain. Who's that chick?
Natasha Bedingfield.
Then she comes in to fill in like that. She came back in and did the Natalie Imbruglia, but like less dirty and slinky.
She was like Natalie Imbruglia meets Mandy Moore.
Okay, first of all, that was Bob Dylan's son, One Headlight, and he was like always looking at us with like one half of his face because like he had the one good eye. I feel like both of his eyes were good, but it just seemed like only one was good because he was only staring at you with that one eye. he was like, one headlight. And we were like, all right, Bob Dylan's son. What was his name? Jacob? Was his name Jacob Dylan? Like,
I'm so terrible with names. I agree. Oasis was 90s Beatles.
Oasis was the business. Listen. We didn't know, like, we didn't care about the Beatles in the 90s. Like, there were always those like hipsters who thought that they cared about the Beatles, and then they were like,
Hey, Teresa.
Oh shit! It was Jacob Dylan. What's up, Teresa?
Oh, the wallflowers as well.
Yes, the wallflowers were there.
Nelly
like
Furtado.
Nelly Furtado. Oh,
I just used one of her songs in my IG story today. Fucking love Nelly Furtado.
Man. Also, Faye. So this is funny because Faye's like the third person that I've put on my Instagram stories, right? Who has come and been like, this is my song from such and such, or I'm a cat person, and it's just weird how like on the spot I am about that. Like,
yeah,
so what are you doing? Come hang out.
Dirty from I was like, do you want to like, I can send you the StreamYard link. You use the song Dirty from Christina Aguilera, speaking of unshowered Christina Aguilera, and she's like, it's a favorite song of mine.
It's so crazy because it's like, because I think I used it was Fighter, and she's thanks for making me a fighter. Yeah. So it's like, it's just a weird deal that I like, y'all. I don't listen. It's the same way. I know Robert Wells probably has not finished unpacking still and buying new shirts. We're gonna move on. Toad and the Wet Sprocket. Oh my goodness gracious! Like the amount of weird, like the band names were so weird in the 90s.
They were. Also, because she does know you. She does. That's why, Faye. But yeah, like Third Eye Blind, the Gin Blossoms, Toad the Wet Sprocket, like all the alt 90s bands. I'm like, where did these names come from?
What was that band's name? It was a funky one.
I'll take a whiskey drink.
If you want to buy me flowers, just go ahead now. Am I me?
This garbage. Song. Yeah.
And of course, Hole. We like the 90s weren't 90s without Hole and Courtney Love being like, "Oh, make me over."
Exactly.
Matchbox 20, of course. Rob Thomas. Okay, you guys. I used to call it like the thing that I liked about Rob Thomas. Listen, don't at me for this. Spin Doctors. Thank you.
There we go. Look at Teresa. Maybe that's what Saturday's chat is about. We'll just talk about 90s music.
Thank you. Rob Thomas had the most arrowy nose with the most flared nostrils. I've never seen nostrils that flared on a white guy. Like not ever. Like they were like, I mean, they
literally never noticed that.
Like, look at his video. He's like, baby, it's time to go home. It's like, like he was sucking in all the air.
Yes, Teresa's in. Yes, 90s Music Saturday Live. There we go. I'm down.
I'm so bored. Because listen, then you got into the 2000s. And this is where like 50 Cent showed up, where everybody was like, this is where everybody just suddenly started saying 50 instead of 50.
Of course.
Like,
no doubt. Yes.
Of course. We're going to talk about that. But like, I remember it. And to this day, like, I hate being old. Like, these are the reasons I hate being old. Also, Peaches.
Yes, I was going to say, I was waiting. I was like, Peaches.
Peaches is my jam. But I hate being at the stage of old where when I hear Into Club, like I legit should be like, go, and thinking like I'm hip. I'm like, go show it. And I'm like looking at people like, yo, I'm fucking awesome. That song's 20 fucking years old. And I'm still thinking that it's like the business.
Sherry, I still have jealousy for not seeing No Doubt.
Not stand Sherry. Like Sherry's just
fucking Bush. Gavin Rossdale.
Moment of silence for Gavin Rossdale. His sexiness was just and continues to be unfucking paralleled. He's freakishly tall.
Bethany, everyone thought Sugar Ray was hot. I absolutely did not agree.
His name was Mark something.
Oh, I can't remember now. I'm
Because
thinking of
now he
the.
does like shitty shows.
I was thinking. I almost said Mark Hoppus, but that's Blink 182.
That was
Mark
my boyfriend.
Also, yes, bad white dad dancing moves. Go, shawty.
And then because like everybody gets the head bob, they're like, you can find me at the club. Everybody's like saying Mark McGrath. That's it.
Yes.
Teresa, if you're Googling this shit, I'm not
I
gonna
just
talk
Googled
to you.
it, but no, I think she knows the shit.
I remember Shifty Shell Shock. Do y'all remember Shifty Shell Shock? Come, my lady. Come, my baby. You're a butterfly. Sugar, baby. One of the worst songs ever. I hated that
All you
song.
had to say was Butterfly. I don't remember his name. I just remember like Teresa's like, bitch, please. I'm not Googling shit.
No, but here's the reason I remember Shift Montel Jordan. Like that's one of those songs that to this day, Get Your Freak On, Miss LA. Like these are iconic songs. Like they're like, and this is the thing. It bothers me when people talk shit about one hit wonders. Like it's a one hit wonder. I'm like, so did you write a one hit wonder?
It was
look
iconic.
He's still
exactly.
Please.
Sublime.
Oh, that's one of those sad heroin tales.
I know.
I saw Long Beach Dub All Stars.
Of course you did.
They grew up into beautiful men.
They were one group that I did not like. I was into NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, but Hanson, I was like, I think I was just a little too old.
I was too.
And they were too young, and I was like,
yeah, because you had to be able to have your your I'm growing into my body fantasies, and you can't have that when like their youngest member is 9. That's creepy.
Butterfly was by Crazy Town. That's why I was like, I didn't remember his name.
No, 50 Shell Shock was the lead singer. Like nobody knows why his name was Shifty.
And
but
I agree with this.
Hold up. We can't even talk about it unless I fucking love the song. This shit right here. Listen. Cisco was the bomb. He had the platinum hair. Motherfucker did flips. Who was doing flips? Cisco. Cisco was doing flips on the beach in the sand. Difficulty level high. And you know what? We were all walking out there with our thongs hanging out of our pants. It was unattractive.
You were.
We did it anyway.
You were. Not all of us.
Listen, just because you weren't cool with your thong strings hanging out.
It wasn't. Also, they didn't make thongs for fat teenagers in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, that was back in the. You're right. Back then they didn't give us
maybe
whatever.
They did, but it was not something that I had access to.
No, I saw fat girls making do, man. They were just like grabbing strings and making them like they were doing. I was like, go on, girl. I don't care if you got a thong on.
Y'all are amazing in the chat because every chat I'm like, I think of a new song.
Remember, but wait, there was a rebuttal to No Scrubs because every time black women have something to say, as T said, black men have to come and try to ruin it. So they made No Pigeon.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Unbreak My Heart would fuck me all the way up.
Unbreak My Heart is that what's that song by Leona Lewis? Keep Bleeding Love. That's the thing now.
Love. Yeah.
Keep Bleeding Love is still that's still my thing.
Well, Bleeding Love is like the 2000s versions of, or like to 2010s version of, yeah. And then I think Adele kind of, well, maybe not Adele. I don't know. I think of sometimes I think of Adele in that same breath, but I don't know. It's the same.
Adele's is like the new All by Myself.
That's true. Yeah.
By Eric Carmen. No. Why do I know that?
Somebody mentioned Mambo Number 5. Wait.
That was a 90s jam. That was definitely a 90s jam.
Yes. Another Living Tree was, guys, Mambo Number 5. The whale.
Oh my gosh. Like, listen, we all, like, first of all, Aaliyah, yes, she was. Because Queen of the Damned was her last That was her last film that came out. It's weird to say that because like people will say it's their last film, but like it's not necessarily their last film because like films aren't necessarily released in order.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Jet Li movie was actually the last movie that came out, but Queen of the Dam was the last movie she filmed.
And she passed away in 2001, so she was basically that. In my head, she's 90s, but I guess she was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Because R. Kelly, need we say more? So like,
yeah.
But also because she started an acting career, so like her music kind of started taking a pause. So like music was in the 90s, and then her music started taking a pause as she started moving into acting. Oh my gosh, the Macarena. And like everybody thought that they were speaking Spanish, but like there were just millions of people going, and you're like, but you're not singing the words. Like don't just say a Macarena at the end. Just say that. Like
Eve.
Eve. What?
I always remember those paw print tattoos because I was
like, I do. They were so sexy on her.
Like, I know. If I did that, it would be like, ooh.
Yeah, if I did that, it would be sad news. But like she did it, I was like, bitch. Wait, I gotta pee, so I'll be back. Okay. I'm gonna do the thing with the cam.
Yes, Miss Leona made points. I agree. Wait, but where's Rachel Joyce? Better in Time and Scream sing them both, and most certainly not a soprano. Yeah, Bleeding Love was an intense song. I'm going to admit that you are not wrong. You are not wrong with that. Good night, Thorn. Sleep well. Oh, that's a rough. Kathy, the Macarena was right when I had a friend called Macarena. That was a hard time for her. Yeah, that does not sound pleasant. I would be sad about that. Oh, good night, Christine, as well. Yes, Mary J. Blige. She had a moment. Oh, Selena. I love Selena. I mean, I love the movie, but I had kind of known the music before the movie, but mostly the movie. Wait, Soul Asylum. I know that name, but I don't think I know a specific song off the top of my head. But we're not coming for Miss Mary. I love her. Her music is amazing. An icon. Aerosmith, Neve Campbell, Alicia Silverstone, those music videos. I feel like I've seen those music videos millions of times. Okay, this was an iconic pairing. The Boy Is Mine was like one of the best song videos of that moment. Oh, okay. And sorry, Stinky Eggs is like something about a train. Okay, now I know Soul Asylum. Yes. Holy shit. Oh, no, wait. I don't remember the melody though of it, but thank you, because oh my god. Okay, between now and Saturday, I don't know if the live is probably gonna be on Audra's channel, but Saturday it'll be Audra, Teresa, and I, and it's gonna be a 90s music bop. Oh, good night, Rachel Joy. Oh god, no, Dane Shawson sleep paralysis demon. Please no. I just love y'all filling the chat with lyrics. Thank you, please. Nusha, I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to say that's amazing. I think we learned to play Runaway Train in my keyboard class. That sounds amazing. I feel like I never learned. I took piano and I never learned like modern songs. We were
That
talking
song
about,
is iconic, ma'am.
I know, Soulless
I like
Island
that.
Runaway Train.
Do y'all remember that music video? Like there were runaways at the end of the video. Like he had like pictures of people who would like run away and that they were still missing. And then there was like there was a
Yes.
number that you could call to, like if you found them, like a runaway
Yes.
hotline. Like it was so powerful at the time. Like that guy was so dirty looking too. So dirty. Like he had like because that was like that was when like white boy dreads started hitting like a weird peak and they were just all like like I'm
You're
woke
right
and I
about
got
that.
dreads and he was just like I guess dude, and they mostly just smoked weed and talked nonsense, but still that was very, very iconic at the time. Like I'm never gonna forget that because I remember like watching that video and like feeling like
Oh my
Lemon
gosh.
Head. Oh, Blind Melon.
Yes.
All I can say is that
Oh, good
my
night,
life is
Teresa.
pretty plain.
Oh, such a
Good
good
night,
song.
Teresa. And that's what we're talking about with friendship. This is the real person that we're
Yes.
friends with.
Yes, exactly. I didn't see it in a drive-in movie theater, but I saw it in the movie theater for sure.
Okay, who saw the Britney
Oh.
Spears movie? Who saw
Wait, did
it?
I end up seeing that one?
What was it called?
Was that the one where Lucky came from? No, it was
I Love
I
Rock and
definitely
Roll. Remember she did the remake of I Love Rock and Roll and she had it in that movie.
it was Britney movie.
I feel
I
like it starts with a
remember
C.
Crossroads.
Yes, I told you I felt like it started with a C. I was like, did anybody watch that movie? Because like what was it like? I feel like it was shortly after my divorce that I finally gave in, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it.
It came out in 2002. You saw it in the cinema. That's
I loved the awfulness of it. Another lemon tree. Loved the awfulness of it. All the violent femmes. And you can't fuck with the violent femmes. You cannot fuck with this band. I used to listen to that album like on fucking repeat. Like just all the time listening to it.
Also, I like Stinky Eggs. Yeah, like that was Mariah.
Stinky Eggs, I did not watch Glitter because I feared for my sanity. I was okay. Listen, I'm a Britney. I'm going to say it. I'm a bit of a Britney stan. I love Britney. Like her music does something for me. It's a good time.
Yep.
I enjoy myself. And that's it. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. That was the song.
And Spice World was amazing.
I did not like Spice World, but listen.
Well, from my memory.
I was very much 90s alt girl at the time. Very much like rollerblading, skateboarding.
Also, and yes, I never watched From Justin to Kelly. F that.
Listen, mistakes were made in my life, and I tried to watch it. It was horrific. Like,
what do you mean awful? It was Poetic Cinemas. Use you.
Listen, it was a coming of age tale centered around specifically Britney Spears and her little friends. Like it's called Britney and her little friends. That's what we're gonna call it. Britney and her little friends. Like, Britney was there, and like everybody was there just to support Britney and her acting. And
this comment. Spice World was, I remember they had a scene with a bus driving across a bridge and it was clearly a toy car. Oh my gosh. Britney's birthday is the same day as Pepe's mommy. So I always say the day the two most important women in my life were born. I don't know why that made my heart like feel so happy.
That's so good. Because listen.
Good night, Lydia.
Are so mean about Britney's like meltdown or whatever. But like
same.
I don't agree with how that was all handled because she was in the spotlight.
And I agree with you.
She was having a time. And had she been a male having that same time like Robert Downey Jr. did, like that dude from the fucking T2, you know what I'm talking about? The movies.
It doesn't matter. Men always get away with shit that women don't.
Like all these dudes break down all the time in public, and they're just like, look Like fucking Charlie Sheen was talking about tiger blood. Like that was perfectly acceptable. Britney Spears had a moment, and then everybody, free Britney for real. For real. I'm gonna start like being like Black Lives Matter, free Britney. Like that's where I'm gonna be. Because like this girl, she has been underneath a conservatorship for way too long. That's why she ain't putting shit out.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I realized when the Britney meltdown happened, I was definitely more knowledgeable about mental health than I feel like a lot of people in the general world. But even just a couple of years after it happened, I was like, oh shit. Like I started realizing kind of the full scope of like what she'd been going through and understanding what can happen to you mentally. And I was like, I already knew we had like been so fucking mean to her, but I was just like, no, I'm angry. Like I'm angry about that shit.
And also women who are regularly everybody knows people that in streams. It's so funny. Like Britt says that like I just in the shower. But like women are regularly and routinely misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder because we're just having a fucking moment. Yeah, right? That'll be a movie. Black Lives Matter, ACAB, free Britney. Like fuck. Let this woman live. Let her live.
Yes.
Yes, and like her parents were really shitty too. Her parents sucked the life out of her, like trying to like make her be famous. And then, you know, she had a relationship with Justin, and that was puppy love. And then like he spewed to the world that they like got it on. And then like, but I'm still Britney. If you deign to ever see this in your life, Wade Robson, not hot. He was not hot. For those of you who don't know who that is, you need to watch You Got Served. He's from the evil white guy tribe, and I'm not saying that to be like racist.
I'm also going to add to that Kevin Federline.
Yes.
Not hot, in my opinion.
That money grubbing whore.
Every dude that Britney was with, I was like, you can do better, Britney. You deserve better. Like.
And that's all her parents' fault. That is her parents' fault. You kept getting these like dudes who like made her feel like she was a human being for a second and not a cash cow. And then they just used that.
I would agree with that. The only thing she did wrong was using a public bathroom barefoot.
Thank you. Also,
I didn't know Perez Hilton did that. That's disgusting.
Ugh.
Wow.
I've never liked Perez Hilton. Gross.
Blech. Blech.
Yes, like listen, Britney, like that was not her image. She didn't cultivate it. The image she has now, she's cultivated, but like that young, that was not her. That was
exactly.
Disney.
I agree. Yes, K-Bed was greasy.
So greasy.
Kevin, whatever the fuck.
Kevin Federline was the greasiest bucket of chicken ever. Like, and it wasn't from a good place. It was a place that claimed that Black people made the fried chicken, but it really wasn't Black people, but they claimed it was Black people, and it was greasy and the skin was always too soft.
And I agree, Peppy. Like, from a very young age, I was like, I'm definitely not straight because I'm looking at all these women like, girl, you deserve better, and it's probably not a man.
I look at that every time. I was like, Britney, listen, you can still find Chaotic on YouTube. It's just a whole ass mess because she had that show. And like, let me see, down. Like that was like, oh my god.
K-Fed was like the photo next to the term Peckerwood in the dictionary.
Like I just always like
use K-Fed to fix the creaky door. No one knows. No one knows why Justin Timberlake had crunchy ramen hair.
Listen, because okay, here's why he had crunchy ramen hair. Because white guys with very curly hair don't know how to style it. And so
not just
nobody
guys.
knew how to style it. And so they just they just made it into ramen. And they did the same thing, you're right, with women. They were like, oh, just
They
put
would
a lot
put
of
way
gel
too
in.
much gel in it and like not blow it out, just like or like blow it out with like a very tight diffuser. It's
Yes.
like this is so it just was crunchy and hard curls, and it's like
Crunchy hard girls. Ooh. Yeah, I know her baby voice. I've heard that. I've heard that. I have actually heard that
not you, ramen.
that like once she could sing and like now she can't at all.
Crunch, crunch,
Oh
crunch,
God.
crunch. Not
Listen.
even able to run your fingers through his hair. Just like you would just be stuck like
That's taking me
an
back to some
impenetrable
really
wall.
sad days because you could not run your fingers through any guy's hair in that time period at
Mm-hmm.
all. Because they all had all the gel, Axe body spray. Oh my God. So much Axe body spray. Like, listen, Axe body spray was so bad that they had to ban it in middle schools. Like it got
Thank
so
you. They should have a long time ago.
they got so bad that they were like, you cannot wear Axe body spray in our school because it just
Yes.
couldn't breathe.
Brillo head, the straight up spike, the like literally the something about Mary, Cameron Diaz.
Thank
Like,
you. Like it was either straight up and then like the rebuttal to that started coming in like the like My Chemical Romance swoop,
yes,
the like Pete Wentz swoop. Why would anybody think Pete Wentz was attractive? I'm so confused by that because I just thought that he looked like a girl for me, and I didn't find that he was a pretty girl. So like I was not ever attracted to him. I wasn't attracted to him as a male, and I wasn't attracted to him as a girl. Like either one of those things, I didn't find attractive. Whereas like David Bowie, when David Bowie was like more like androgynous, like I still found him attractive.
Yeah.
And then when David Bowie was like more masculine, I found him attractive. And then when he was more feminine, I was still like, fuck yeah. Like all forms of David Bowie I would have taken. Like,
but there's different people for everybody. So somebody was definitely attracted to feminine, masculine Pete Wentz.
Yeah.
He had his moment. Wasn't he? Was he with
Fall Out Boy?
No. I'm thinking of who he dated.
Ashley Simpson. Who
Okay.
came on Saturday Night Live and got fucked up because she like tried to lip sync her second song and the wrong song came on and she was like, and then she did the chicken dance and was just like, ugh, and like rolled out. And her career was never
like, I always said Mandy Moore and I'm like, no, it wasn't Mandy Moore because it was somebody else where I was like, oh, they're both like mediocre enough that they'd belong together.
No, Mandy Moore got with that dude who was like, I guess abusive, which is really fucked off later. Yes. But like, yeah, Ashley Simpson, because she was like, on a Monday. No, Avril Lavigne married the Derek Whibley from Sum 41, and then after that, she decided to double down and marry the dude Chad Kroeger from Nickelback.
I forgot about that.
Avril only marries Canadian because Derek is Canadian and Chad Kroeger.
Actually, before the nose job.
Oh my God, that was so funny. And not like there's anything wrong with getting work. The reason it was funny was because she had literally just come out with an article talking about loving yourself for who you are, and then shows up with a nose job right after that article. And then had the nerve to do the same Hollywood bullshit that they all do, which is like, I had a deviated septum. I'm like, I don't think you guys know what a deviated septum is. Like, I don't. It's like when everybody actually started looking up what the fuck a deviated septum was, and we're like, wait, that doesn't mean you get a new nose. Like,
how dare you, madame? But also, I love her.
Listen,
that's fair. Everyone has people, and kinds of people that they're attracted to. Also, welcome.
No, I don't have any problem. Like, listen, I had a whole like goth period. I still have a goth period. It's like just intensely goth dudes. Mommy Nuno.
Oh my God.
No, I've always been for the. So here's the thing. If you don't know, I used to love Marilyn Manson, like the way he looked back in the day. Like I used to be like, fuck yeah. Orgy, his like little band, like Jay Gordon, the lead singer. I was gonna eat his face or sit on it. Either way, the point is,
same difference, you know.
There's gonna be all kinds of pasty white makeup on my thighs. That's where we were. So I should not have said that out loud. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Oh no, that was perfection. That was perfection.
Because listen, like Orgy had the song, like everybody remembers Blue Monday, but Stitches was their song. Like that was the song. Tying yourself to me, release my emptiness, cause you're the death of me. Like, yes, I wanted everything to do with the boys and the makeup and looking like androgynous and feminine. Like that's what I like about goth boys. And to this day, like there's a guy on YouTube. His name's like Jake Monroe. I know he has a girlfriend. He's never going to say this, but he is like
your eyes, your face.
Listen, the secret times that he and I have had that he knows nothing about, it's fine.
It's been a while.
Same. I do the same thing, Feffy, like every time. Like every time I'm like, it's been a while, and then I'm like, it's been a while. And then not forget Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit, because why was that a thing?
I like
starting a band. I've been in bands actually.
I was gonna say I like more of the androgynous types than the Fred Durst types myself.
Yes, Thorn. When you have it, look up Jake. Like go to his Instagram, Jake Monroe. I don't know if it's spelled with a U. I think it's Monroe, like MUNRO. I think there's no E. So here's the thing. I sort of at a rave before the drugas, I got with somebody who looked remarkably like, it's obviously not Jake Monroe because he lives in Europe, but looks remarkably like him, which is probably why I like Jake Monroe. Anyways, that dude had shit on lockdown because like up until that point I'd been with a lot of awkward goths, but this goth knew how to work those fingers. We'll say that. I'm making it.
They should. All of them should, whether they're awkward or not. I mean, if you're awkward and you know how to work the fingers, it kind of takes away from your awkwardness.
The whole thing happened because under the influence of certain things, I was like, I'm not going to do the relations was my thing. I'm not going to do relations under the influence of this drug because I was like, it's not a good plan. So he was like, okay, well, how about this? And I was like, no, I got time. Yeah, hashtag Jake Monroe. Why would you do that, Tracy? Like, he's never gonna look. Please don't let him look.
I mean, the hashtags don't work in the chat. I bet they don't even work.
Yeah, let's hope that it doesn't work.
Even if he found it, he'd be like, it wouldn't even make it to this far in the stream.
Correct. Yeah. Hey.
Thorn,
hey.
Piano gives you spaghetti hands.
I can't.
Spaghetti hands as a whole other like.
Help! Help! Send help!
I agree. I'm like dying over here.
I can't. It's so horrible.
And Thorn, I know I play piano.
Stop it. It's been a while. I cannot.
Wait, salad fingers.
Stop it. Stop it, you guys. You were disturbed.
Tell me somebody in the chat used to watch Salad Fingers.
Listen, my son is over here. We are traumatizing his young ears. He's just a baby, and oh my god, he's really big. I just realized that.
You broke us, yes. Oh, rewind. I would be honored.
I would love that.
Yes, this needs to be a bingo square. We laugh so hard we are no longer talking.
Oh my god, that was horrific. Like, if my eyes
Don't
could
Google
water,
it.
they would have.
Don't Google it. I'm sorry.
God. He's such a big boy. I didn't realize he was so big. Like, it's weird.
There are times that I'll say something and then like in a live stream or even in a video and I'm like, I didn't think that was gonna be funny, but everyone thought it was funny. Okay.
I think that all the time. I don't think I'm funny. Like, I'm like,
Tracy.
No, I wasn't ready.
Oh my god, Nate, what? Our laughter messed up his computer their computer speakers. What?
It was me snorkeling, like I'm so sorry. Like,
LGG is hungry. Oh, good night, Ruthie. That sounds like an amazing
night, Ruthie. I love your Corona tea, by the way. Dig it.
Yes, I did as well. Yes, taco salads are delicious. Just gonna say.
Taco salad is the business. I have mine with turkey meat because I don't eat red meat. I did not.
Y'all have broken me.
Help me, stop! I can't stop. Hold on, I got it.
I was not expecting some of these comments to be the things that have set me off so much. But they are.
Anyway,
Hold
YouTube
on.
friendships.
Same.
I don't know. Is Uber Eats still delivering because you're just hungry?
I know. I'm like, it'll soon be midnight here, which means blackout day will be over, which means I might order some post midnight food.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who was good. I would call her.
It was iconic. The Corona t-shirt, Corona beer t-shirt with the mask.
It was amazing. But like I saw that, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I got a feature." Good.
Enjoy your husband jumping.
Yes. Listen, my man sent me like a whole ass thirst trap. Like I sent him a picture of me like being normal, and then he sent me thirst, and I was like, I was thirsty. I'm still thirsty.
And Veronica's like, why are you making so much noise, Mom? It's more noise than normal.
No, it's like hold on, if I can get this to where like I can get out of the way, but y'all can see him. Because he was literally like, do you see that shit?
Cinnamon roll.
Oh my gosh, he's
I hear him snoring.
Boy. You did. He's so big. I don't realize he's big until like I just looked over. I was like, oh my god, what a big boy I have here.
Peppy, you work out here trying to dehydrate Audra.
Girl, I am dehydrated. Listen. I don't know if he knew what he was doing. He's a Leo. Of course he knew what he was doing. But like.
Of course he did.
Like he sent the photo and I was like. Like I got stuck.
You could have just excused being late on his thirst trap. I would have just been like, enjoy.
I was like, you are obnoxious. I even said that. I was like, that is a whole thirst trap. Like, what? Why would you do that? Oh.
I wouldn't say he's pure, but he's a good boy.
He threw several fits today because I left the house a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's 75 pounds. I just don't feel like he's big. He's maybe.
Enjoy your pasta today. Spaghetti fingers.
Now I'm like getting hungry. I'm like, I want some food. I haven't been eating regularly, to be honest. Like I haven't been eating well at all.
Yeah, I didn't really eat regularly today either, which is one reason why I decided to skip the drinks, because I was like, I didn't really have a proper dinner. It's too hot here.
Yeah, that's when it gets too hot, I can't eat. I'm like, it's hot. I'm not hungry.
Yeah. I'm not always like that, but today it's been like extra hot, and I think my air conditioning is just acting a fool right now.
Oof.
I was working today. My boyfriend sent a message that got me to be as dehydrated as a desert, and I was like, "Sir, I have cucumbers I must attend to."
Yeah, you know, them like slightly mouth open, like, oh my god. I was like, what the fuck? Like, if you're not here to quench the thirst.
Yeah. Oh, it's cold where Peppy is, but she has ice cream.
But that's the only time I like ice cream better when it's cold. Like when the weather is cold, I like ice cream a lot more. And I eat ice cream. Like in the summertime, I'll get ice cream, but I don't eat it the way that I do in the winter. It's weird.
No, I'm with you. I feel like winter is more of like hibernation mode, and I try not to keep my apartment cold anyway in the winter because I want it to be, I like kind of toasty. So like, I'll have my ice cream.
Yeah, I have ice cream and I enjoy myself.
I like caffeine and sarcasm. I do smoothies when it's this damn hot. Some of them have rum in them.
That's what I would be doing.
You know what I'm having for dinner tonight?
I actually did, in fact, have tacos earlier.
You could have helped yourself, Audra, to avoid dehydration.
I'm tired of helping myself.
That's a face of like, I'm helpless. Come save me.
Like, I don't want to help myself anymore. I'm not hamburger helper.
I'm sorry. Did you just compare your parts to hamburger? Because no.
I said I'm not hamburger helper.
But that would mean you're the helper to your hamburger. You're not hamburger.
That's true. The hamburglar, however, can get it.
Ridiculous.
I know. Oh my god. Like
this hamburglar helper. There we go.
I still listen. I don't know what happened, but they tried to make Gem into a movie, and apparently it flopped really bad. But like, I love the cartoon. Did anybody else watch Gem? Because Gem was outrageous. She was truly, truly, truly outrageous. Whoa, Gem.
I remember Cheeseburger Helper. I remember Gem, and I remember the movie because Sephora, this was like early in my makeup love. The Sephora collection released a lame ass Gem makeup collection for the movie.
Sure they did.
I'm just like, come on, you guys. Gem, Rainbow Bright. Can somebody do some 80s makeup nostalgia right?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be so hard.
Yes.
I was like, why you gotta be so
rude? Jim had the 80s on her side. The movie probably did not. That's true. Yes.
Listen, I don't know what they were trying to do, but like it's hard to do Gem. You would really like you have to capture a lot of energy. Like that Gem is one of those things that I feel is like purely like cartoon. Like I don't feel like you can ever real life at all.
But I would have totally watched a new cartoon version of Gem.
Yeah, like if they had done that, that would have been better for me. Like do a cartoon version of Gem, but like don't try to make it into a movie because ugh.
I've tried some Sephora collection stuff that's okay, but I feel like again, any collab, it's like when you see the Ulta brand doing a fucking Marvel Black Widow collab that's like boring and ridiculous.
Yeah, because like, is it Ulta that has the like the Jessica Rabbit shit?
Somehow I knew that joke was coming, but like I didn't have the wherewithal to actually put it together myself.
Y'all,
and also Ciate did the Jessica Rabbit collection, which was also sad. Who Framed Roger Rabbit was it's still a favorite movie of mine. That was some fucked up movie to watch as a kid, but I watched it.
Yeah, it was like all the time.
Yes, Pollyanna. They are leaving money on the table, not doing nostalgic Gen X or Tinkerbell makeup. Like all of the like things of the 80s and 90s, the gym, the Rainbow Brights, the Jessica Rabbit. I don't know.
But like the thing is, even when Ciate tried to do the Jessica Rabbit, like I wasn't surprised that it's still on sale if it still exists. But
yeah,
and I wasn't surprised because they didn't capture Jessica Rabbit at all. Like,
well, it wasn't good quality either.
Thank you, Thorne. She literally has on like purple eyeshadow, a red lip, and like rosy-ish cheeks. Like that.
They needed some big lashes for her. They needed a palette that was actually purple and not like ashy purple. I did think the glittery red lipstick was like a good nod to her because of her dress.
Yeah.
Yes. A masterpiece.
Thank you. From beginning to end. Yes. Like Roger Rabbit going, please! Like I did that for like years. I would do that. And like the people who didn't get it, I was like, oh my God, you don't know who Roger Rabbit is? Like what the fuck's wrong with you? And the Christopher Lloyd as like the evil, oh my gosh, the judge.
So when he gets steamrolled.
Yes, and then he like yells at the little hyena things like, stop that laughing! And like yells at them, talking about how like their family members died because of like they're laughing. Oh my God, that was like, and then they like when they start laughing too hard, they're like, and then they're like, fucking ghost comes up out of their body. Like the fuck, that was amazing.
Also, I agree with Our Daily Broad. I loathe that show, and I would like it to die a proper death.
And let me just clarify, I disliked Friends when it was airing new.
Yes.
Like I don't dislike it later. I disliked it then. I watched it then and I was like, can somebody explain this show to me? They're like, no, like, did you watch Friends? I'm like, no, what? And then I was like, getting the Rachel haircut, which by the way, 99% of people look like hot garbage with that haircut. Like just 99%.
So did Rachel.
Could not pull it off. It was just you said so did Rachel.
So did Rachel. I lived in North Carolina, and even then I was like, there's no way in hell anyone could have a New York apartment like that and do fuck all that they did. There's no way.
Good jobs. And then they would be like, well, no, like they inherited, like they kept concocting a story as to why they had such a nice apartment.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm already lost. And then most of the stuff was weird. The only time I ever liked Friends was when Lisa Kudrow sang Smelly Cat, and that was it.
Lisa Kudrow, I think, is an icon, and I really liked her show. I didn't watch all of the seasons, but she did a show, was it The Comeback? Kind of in the last couple of years. Yeah. She was hilarious in that. But like everyone else, I was just like, no. I mean, even her on the show wasn't always great, but I was just like, why is this a thing?
See, like, I love that song Smelly Cat because it's a double entendre.
Yes, it is. It is.
Also because I knew a woman that I worked with who had a smelly cat. The double side of it, not the literal side. Like, well, yeah, no.
It could be both. It could be both. You never know.
When she was in the elevator, you were just like, what are they feeding you? But anyways.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Not the mama.
Dinosaurs were so bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I liked Wonder Years. I did enjoy Wonder Years. That was such a good song, like a good show, and it had the good song. What would you do? The weird thing about that though is like you don't like until you actually hear that song, you don't realize how fucking long it is. Like that was the thing about songs back then, where you were like, oh, I like this song, and you're like, is this song still on? Fred Savage was in there. Fred Savage, and I remember like he was. Didn't he have a brother Ben Savage? Was there a Ben Savage?
So. I feel like there was brothers. There's like multiple brothers. Yeah. I feel like in the Savage.
There's a lot of Savages. And then he was also in Princess Bride. Fred Savage was. He was the son, the grandson.
It was like a sitcom drama kind of. Like
because it was kind of funny. It was funny at times because he loved Winnie.
Yes. The comeback was very underrated, in my opinion.
See, it's weird. Like I always felt like back in the day when it was on, I was like, maybe I just don't get it. And then at the time I was just like, maybe I'm just black and I don't understand, because I tried to watch it and I was just like, and the thing was I watched, fucking Jordan Catalano. I watched My So-Called Life. I loved that.
There we go.
Yes, thank you.
Boy Meets World. Yeah.
It was a Ben Savage. But I just never could get into Friends. I guess because that just wasn't a life that I understood at all. Mm-hmm. And so since I didn't understand that life, I was like, all right, well, deuces. Like I just, like I never found Britney Cox to be particularly attractive. Like most people on there weren't people that I found attractive in like most ways. Most ways I would find somebody attractive. They didn't hit any of the points. Like everybody be like, Joey. I'm like, no.
Again, speaking of the crunchy hair, the gelled hair that's like crunchy. Ross was a piece of trash that everyone was like, oh, he's so sweet. And I'm like,
the original incel.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Could not stand Ross. Just always around.
It was funny, but it was white.
Because she's getting on the point where I thought because I thought that I didn't understand Friends because I was black or something, but there were all these other shows where it's like, these shows are good. Yeah. Why is this show not good?
Yeah.
And I just never got it.
And the more people raved about it, I didn't like, it was one of those shows that I ended up watching because it was just like, oh, Friends is on, I guess we watch it. But even but it wasn't even the prime pick within our family. But then the more people were like, it's so good, it's so funny, the more I fucking hated it, because I was just like, no, it's not. No. So good. I agree, you should be offended about being told that you look like Ross. What?
Ew.
Wait.
You do not look like Ross.
Ross invented the term the friend zone.
He did. They also invented that bullshit we're on a break, that dudes still try to use now to keep chicks with them. We're on a break. Honey, I Shrunk the Taco.
Together, and now I'm waiting for Rick Moranis to release Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Rick Moranis was an icon as well.
That was a really good one. Also, one of the most underrated movies of the time back then, Adventures in Babysitting. When Elizabeth Shue is getting messed with by those gangsters, and she gets in their face and says, "Don't fuck with the babysitter." I felt that.
That made me think of not the same, but it made me think of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, which was one of my absolute favorite movies. Right on top of that, Rose. And Spaceballs. Yes, Spaceballs.
Yes. Although Space also was a weird place for me. Like, I'm gonna have to get back to it. David Schwimmer does have a punchable face. He was in some other movie. Like, he's always playing a simp.
Yes.
David Schwimmer was forever playing a simp. Like, just weak-willed, sad, soft.
Yeah.
It was just, and it was like everything you didn't want. Like, the fact that he ended up with Rachel was just like the saddest thing that I'd ever seen. Like, it was sad to me, not because like she was better than him, but because like he really did put his life on fucking hold for this bitch. Like, while she fucked Jean-Claude Van Damme. You serious, bro?
The fact that show is where like being on a break and the friend zone is from totally solidifies fucking overrated trash. Like that solidifies it.
Yeah, because people could use that.
Soppy
He was
noodle.
a soppy noodle. I could not stand Ross. Like, every time I watched it,
everyone was better than him.
Even his I am now a lesbian ex-wife. Like, I was just like, what? And that storyline always did bother me. Because, like, I would go, like, again, I sat there and I tried to watch this show. I would mostly speak to it. And I would just be like, this show is shitty. And I hated that storyline because it fed into that, like, turn women gay shit. And I didn't like that.
Yeah. And then the fact that Rachel left a lucrative job in France to be with Ross. I want my lawyer.
Thank you. Because I hate it when they portray women giving up fucking everything to be with like some piece of shit. Like, no.
Yeah.
White mediocrity.
And it's frustrating how many shows and movies portray that. They portray just women giving up every bit of what they've established for themselves for somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Like,
at the drop of the hat.
Every time. Yeah. Literally every time. And like, this is why, I hate rom-coms. Like, I go off on them on the regular. I hate watch rom-coms. And what I do when I hate watch a rom-com is I just point out all the different levels of toxicity and bullshit. And that's why we're all fucked up in relationships. Because this shit seeps into our brains, and you're like sitting there being like, oh, I should just be over here because I have brown hair and I'm gonna have a glow up. Like, I'm gonna pull out my ponytail, take off my glasses, I'm gonna be hot. Like, stop doing that. And then and the guy is always they're always like dope. Although I'm not gonna lie, I do like the kissing booth. Like, I will watch teen rom-coms because like that's more reality, like that you would feel like that as a teenager. Like, I can buy into that because like, okay, teenagers are like that, fine, but I can't.
Bethany.
Ross doesn't need tacos. Ross also doesn't know where the G spot is.
Oh, this is an interesting question from Tracy. White mediocrity redundant? ? Can I get ruling from the line judge, please?
Because there is like, who else embodies white mediocrity? Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay.
Fuck yeah, she does.
There is absolutely nothing phenomenal about Gwyneth Paltrow. She's not particularly attractive. I don't care how many people. I feel like people use the term classic beauty to like say that someone's plain. She's handsome. Like, let's leave it there. And
that's being nice in my opinion.
I don't find her remotely attractive. She's not particularly interesting. There's nothing about her aside from the fact that she has famous parents. So she's like the epitome of female white mediocrity, because there's nothing about Gwyneth Paltrow that I would ever want to emulate. Like, ever.
Exactly.
And then she married like the most white bread man that she could find. She tried to be edgy with Brad Pitt, and then she was like, no, I'm going to marry the lead singer of Coldplay. Like,
yeah. Well, the thing is, and I feel like I like to make sure, I know Tracy was probably joking, but like to say white mediocrity because white people get away with being mediocre as fuck or being bad at their jobs, bad as an actor, actress, musician, and still succeed. They trip and they fall upwards. And that's different from just being mediocre. So that's why I will continue to call out as white mediocrity. Obviously, I think that was a bit of a joke, but I wanted to just say, like, no, I like that phrase.
No, I do too, because it showcases just like how, like, thank you. Goop is literally peak white affluent diffusion, because it's weird shit. Like a vagina candle, like this shit is weird. She tells people to do things that are very harmful too. Like, oh, you got the flu, sweat it out. That is terrible. That's terrible advice on all levels. If you have the flu, don't do that. Like, my gosh.
And exactly, who besides a white woman could name a brand Goop and be successful?
You see my face? My face is saying, like, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So many Oscar-winning actors are terrible. Exactly.
See, then you're going to get me. See, I'm trying to stay away from this because, like, you and Brahmi are getting me, like, sucked into my conspiracy about Black people who win Oscars and then their careers just tank. Halle Berry, Cuba Gooding Jr., Octavia Spencer. Like, no, they just all boop.
Ooh.
Every last one of them. Just boop. Fall into obscurity.
And Goop won an Oscar for that, was it Shakespeare movie?
Yeah, that was a horrible movie, by the way. I tried to watch it. Horrible. It was horrible. I don't care what anybody says. People, like, I just don't understand. Like, maybe y'all can help me, because I in no way mean this to be like a shitty, like, racist comment. That's not what I'm after. I don't understand white people's fascination with, like, this old worldy, like love thing where, like, swept away. I don't understand it. So somebody has to explain that shit to me, because I don't fucking get it. Like, I spend my time just trying to be like, I don't understand what's so good about this movie. What did I just do?
What do you mean?
I made Bixby do things. I'm sorry. I didn't know Bixby worked on my phone. I thought I had removed Bixby. Bixby showed up. Uninvited, much like Gwyneth Paltrow. So, but
so basically, people of color only win Oscars for portraying a subservient struggle. It's really strange. It's not strange. It's racist.
Because,
it's
like,
racist.
Listen, like, Halle Berry only won her Oscar after she portrayed, like, also she showed her tits. And then she was, like, subservient. Like, and this is why I say all the time, I don't watch Black struggle movies. I don't watch them. So, like, anybody who comes to me asking me, like, if I saw, like, The Help, or no, I did not see that. I'm not going to watch it, because I want to see Black people portrayed as humans and regular people, not as, like, fodder for basically a white savior. Like, that's how all those movies run that way, because, like, there's always some white person who steps in and says, like, if you have a problem with Octavia, then you have a problem with me.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, I think you've said this. These movies are not for you. They're for white people.
Yeah, those movies aren't
what the fuck happened.
Yeah. So it's like, that's one thing I don't miss about being in an office, is, like, the constant, like, oh my God, I love Tyler Perry. I'm like, bitch, if you say Tyler Perry to me one more time, I'm going to slap you so fucking hard. Like, I don't Tyler Perry ever. Get out from underneath the blanket, bro. It's for me. Thank you.
And I feel like the whole, like, love obsession to me kind of goes back to the whole discussion about rom-coms and about Disney. And I think there's a toxic portrayal of what love is. And white people are trained, like, I think white people in particular fall into that trap, because your parents get raised in this mindset and then they pass that on to you, and it just keeps going. So it's like, you watch Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and all these movies as a kid, which are fucking Stockholm syndrome, and again, giving up your voice for love.
Yes, and he falls in love. Like, I mean, like, think about that. He falls in love with a woman who can't speak. She can say nothing. All she can do is, like, motion and be like, and he falls in love with her.
Yeah.
But the second woman who comes along who can talk, he's like, oh, whatever, bitch, bye. And then he's like, oh, never mind. Like,
and it's all ingrained in in like the whole system. And it's like there's also this whole, all of those movies and a lot of these rom-coms and books are all framed about you have to find the one, the
correct.
one. And so then that continues into that. So like everyone wants to watch a movie and figure out, how did that white woman find the one, and then how did this white woman find the one. And so it's like they get all this critical acclaim, and I'm like, they're they're showing abusive relationships. This
Yeah.
movie is an abusive relationship that won an Oscar.
Yes. Like the Titanic, there was room for both of them. First of all, Rose is selfish bitch. There was room for both of them. But like, how is that romantic? That, you know, like the whole thing. No, I was too, but it's like as I got older, I just stopped liking Disney movies because I had to start like divorcing myself from those ideals because it was negatively impacting my real love life. Like I had to divorce myself from all of that. Like shows like The Bachelor, these kinds of shows are disgusting and they're harmful. Like the people just don't realize it's like seeping into your brain. And I know people want to be like, haha, it's funny, but it's not funny because The Bachelor, like that's why I liked Too Hot to Handle, or because that show was obviously a joke and it was fun and whatever, and the premise was what it was. But when you have shows like The Bachelor who are portraying actually finding love in an environment that none of us, like not none, but the majority of us would find unsavory. If like for instance, if New York was like, listen, I want to date you, but what I want to do is put you in this house that I'm going to be like not living in, but I'll visit from time to time. But I want to put you in this house with 13 other girls whom I also want to date. And I'm going to select from you which one of you bevy of beauties that I want to end up with. Like that is a harmful idea because it perpetuates that pick me mentality of like, oh no, like I can cook and like I can do sports and I'm quirky and I'm fun and I'm not like other girls. Like it perpetuates that cycle of like trying to like win the man when realistically, like that's not how it works. Like that's not how love works. That he's not even this romantic. That's why it all falls apart in the end, not just because these people are actors, but like it also falls apart because even if they weren't actors, how do you expect a relationship to be real when everything about it is fake? All the dates weren't planned by him. Like the studio, the network decided that. The producers decided we're going to do this horse-drawn carriage, date with roses and champagne. That's like not real life shit. Like I'm not saying people don't do that, but I'm just saying as a general rule, like
it's not every date.
Yeah,
like
every date is not like blowing your fucking mind where you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe how romantic this is. Like, no. And it also ruins women for romance. Like we get hung up on having it be very specific, and we don't really look at like stuff that people would say is dumb, right? Somebody would say like, oh, it's dumb, like that they brought me a dark chocolate bar. But to me, that's fucking romantic. I like dark chocolate. I don't like milk chocolate. Milk chocolate makes me fucking gag. So like if New York were to like bring me a dark chocolate bar and be like, hey, I know you like these, like that's romantic to me. But like you get hung up on the flowers and the rose petals and all this stuff. And if that's not what's happening, you start to feel like, oh, well, he's not romantic. And you're like, wait, what?
Well, it's always two extremes. It's either like they have to be like redecorating your whole home to be covered in roses, or you have to be like, oh, I don't deserve gifts. I don't want gifts. It's okay.
Thank you.
Like there's no in between. And those in betweens of just like, oh, I saw this and I thought of you here. Like that's the stuff like in friendships, in romantic relationships, like platonic or romantic in relationships. That's the kind of stuff that like brings me joy as a, like to receive as a gift and also to give to somebody. And this whole concept of like it has to be this big show, it has to be this big process is
grand gestures.
It's like that's not one. Love doesn't look just like one thing. That's the big part And it's like love doesn't just look like one cookie cutter thing. It's not a one thing you see in Disney or on The Bachelor or, in a rom-com or in a book you're reading. It's not just one thing. And you really have to like know yourself and also understand like what manipulation is and what
Yeah.
all the trigger signs are to then be able to kind of, this is my take on it, to then be able to kind of enter relationships and just figure out, okay, is this something I like? Am I enjoying this? Are my
Yeah.
feelings growing? Do I want to continue to spend time with this person? And whether or not you identify it as love or not doesn't fucking matter. But
Yeah.
everything in our childhood to adulthood, especially for women, and I think for men too, though, is framed out as like you have to find the one, you have to find love. You're not whole without a man by your side or being by your man's side, and I think it's like it's not just the media do it and it's doing it, and it's not just necessarily our parents and our family. It's everything together.
Yeah.
Everyone's agreeing to send the same message. And so that was
Yeah.
what makes it even more powerful. Whereas I think there are ways to maybe, if you're a kid and you really just want to watch Disney because all your friends are watching it, I think as parents, there's probably ways to like let your kids enjoy Disney, but at the same time, not let them have their talons in
Exactly.
to your kids kind of growing up.
Yeah. Because it's like if you start thinking about the Disney movies like Snow White and Cinderella, like Snow White and like Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty pricks her finger and is asleep, and Homeboy's gonna marry her. Again, creepy. Then Snow White, she's asleep in a fucking case. Homeboy's gonna marry her. Creepy. He doesn't even
Yeah.
know her, and he's like, she is who I want to be with. And it perpetuates, like for men in a heteronormative relationship, it perpetuates this idea of like purity for women. Like she's been untouched and all of this stuff, but it's like, but how are you supposed to get all the things that you want if she's untouched? Like you want all this stuff. You want her to be, we've talked about this before, but like you want her to be like a grade A slut, like porn star, but like also untouched, but she can't, what is she learning on? Like,
Yeah,
how is she learning to
exactly.
do this stuff? So it's just, because I just keep watching, all of these movies, and like I said, I hate watch them now because some of them I bought at one time, like Love Actually, I bought that. I was like, oh, and now I look at that and I'm just like, that's horrible. Like there's good portrayals in there of relationships, but they're always the negative ones, which is very
Yeah,
upsetting. But it's just,
exactly.
I get very upset by these because I feel like women are consistently put in positions to fail in relationships because you keep getting presented with this idea of what a relationship should be and like what love should be. And if it doesn't look like that to you in your current relationship, you feel like it's not the fairy tale. That's why we have this like fixation on weddings and say yes to the dress. And we have all these fixations on the stuff and like Bridezilla, because essentially you're supposed to lose your fucking mind because it's your day. And
Yeah.
like, why should it be like that? Like, it shouldn't be um insane. Like, thank
Yeah.
you.
I mean, here's the thing is that I think it can be a really special, spectacular day.
Yes.
But I think that there are ways that Bridezilla is kind of framed out. There are ways that people are like telling you your wedding has to be that really like amps up those behaviors. Where it's like, how about just think of it as like an amazing celebration, an amazing party that you get to have with with all the people you love. With okay, this is I have wedding industry. I could talk about the wedding industry as somebody who has worked as a caterer in a bakery with a wedding planner. Like I've worked around it as an industry I don't fucking like. I've worked in it a lot.
Nobody
I'm
likes it.
like this whole world of just like, oh, it has to be perfect, but not the perfect you want it to be.
The
You
perfect
have to
everybody else.
invite everyone that yeah, exactly. It has to be the perfect that your family wants and that their family wants. And you have to invite everyone. It's like invite who you love and want to be there, eat what you want to eat, drink what you want to drink, wear what you want to wear, have it where you want to have it, Because the whole
Except
point
for
is that
plantation. Stop doing that. Thanks.
please, for the love of fucking God.
Please stop
Also,
getting married at plantations. Okay.
if you're getting married, especially in the South, even if there's a different name, just do like 10 minutes of research, little land research, look things
Thank
up.
you.
Because I had a situation last year where I ended up going to this retreat, and I found out after the fact that it was on a former plantation.
Yeah, a little awkward.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I didn't do my due diligence, and the organizer, she didn't do any of her due diligence. But that's another story. But it's like, that's the whole thing with like relationships and love and marriage and weddings. Like, figure out what you and your person or people, if you're polyamorous, what you really want, and then do that.
Yeah, I don't think that constantly pushing these ideals out are good for us, because I think that the reason, like, there's a number of reasons why, divorce continues to hike up, but oh, I love He's Just Not That Into You. Oh my gosh. Keisha, we're the same person. For those of you that don't know, Keisha and I are the same person, and that's why you never see us in the same place. He's Just Not That Into You is like my dissertation on a rom-com done mostly right, because he really, also it stars my Justin Long, my secret boyfriend. But but it really is. It's one of the few movies that is done where it really shows like the ramifications of what's done. So for instance, I think Bradley Cooper's in it and Jennifer Connelly, and they're a couple. And one of the good things about showing them is it shows what happens when a woman lays down an ultimatum. So basically, the reason that Bradley Cooper married her was because, she said to lay down an ultimatum, was like, either we're breaking up or we're getting married. And he got married because he really didn't want to break up, but he wasn't ready to get married either. And they end up getting divorced, and he never actually cheats on her, but he goes through the motions of going to do so. But it really highlights that the importance of, like, for one, the man not to capitulate and be like, okay, I'll give you what you want because I don't want to lose you, but also the woman to stop throwing down ultimatums, because you get what the fuck you pay for. Like, she loves him and he loved her, but he just wasn't ready to get married. And it wasn't that he wanted to jet around with everybody else. And I think that that's another huge issue, is that people feel like, oh, well, he doesn't want to marry me, so obviously he wants to fuck everybody else. It's like, no, he just doesn't want to get married right now. Is that okay? Like, does this have to be a thing? And then the other, like, that movie has so many good parts of it, but essentially,
I do agree with T though about Bradley Cooper. I don't know why. I just think he looks like he would have been a bully.
I know. He also, listen, I'm looking around, so, like, in case his people are here. He looks like the guy who raw dogs you and has chlamydia,
You're not wrong. Not saying anything about him, but
he looks like the guy who gives you toasty taco,
Yeah, toasty taco.
And you were like, because he looks so clean cut, but like,
but he's really dirty.
Underneath. Yeah, chlamydia underneath.
Yeah. Legally Blonde is such a good movie.
That is fun. Yeah, I like that one.
But yeah, the whole idea that like you have to move to the next step also in a relationship is also super toxic, because then it's always this end goal. It's the goalpost is always moving, when it doesn't have to move if you're both happy. And you can be happy in just a relationship.
Yeah, because like if I hadn't married my ex-husband, like, I think our relationship would have just fizzled out the way it's supposed to. Like, if we had just moved along, like, it would have just fizzled out, right?
Bradley Cooper.
Yo, I swear.
Bradley
Cooper. Oh, no. Like, to your point, Emily, you're right, because I feel like what happened is instead of us just being able to enjoy one another, I felt like we did start doing that like next level. Like, okay, we've been together this long, it's time to move in together. We moved in together into this apartment, now it's time to move to a house. We moved into a house, now it's time for us to get married. Like it just seemed like there was always just like and like once you're married, you're like, okay, so like we're here now. Like, exactly. And then it's like, well, we gotta have to have kids, and if it just and it's never ending. And like I think that's why parents are always like living vicariously through their children, because it's like the next step is that you become me and everything I couldn't do.
Yes. Oh my God. It's like actually your life is your own and my life is my life, and separation.
Yeah.
Caffeine and sarcasm. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes, he would do like a line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with just vibing with your boo. Like
yeah.
if you're both happy, and also sometimes if you're not happy, you have to take a step back and be like, am I feeling some stupid external pressure by society to like move something forward, make some big decision, or am I actually unhappy with the relationship?
Yeah.
Because those are two very different things.
And that's one of the like big reasons why I do not believe in marriage for myself, because you become me now. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe in marriage for myself, because I feel very strongly that one, for me, it's just, it would take a miracle. But the other side of it is just, I'm like, I've already done this thing, and I just felt like our relationship was like better off before we hit that next level. Not because of like marriage, but I just feel like had we not been trying to reach an end goal, then I think that I would have seen earlier that we weren't supposed to be together. And then like that would have been fine.
Oh, your life belonged to us. Oh, no, sure, that sounds amazing. I just met my cats in a cottage by the sea. That sounds like a delight. Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that if you hadn't pushed yourself to get engaged, get married, you would have probably just been able to see like, oh, we just kind of fizzled out. Like, I'm just not feeling it anymore. And you could have just moved on.
And then other people push you too. They're like, when are you guys going to get engaged? When are you guys going to get married? When are you guys going to have kids? And it's just like, it's a never ending litany of shit where you just feel like you have to keep going. And like, now I'm at an age where I'm like, I'm good. Like, we don't.
Stop asking people those questions. When are you getting engaged? When are you getting married? When are you having kids? When are you having another kid? When you do it, like,
yeah, that's my favorite. Once people do have kids, it's like, are you gonna have another one so that they're not alone? Like, fucking, y'all not have something else to do besides
no, they don't, and that's their problem. The only thing they have to do is being in other people's business.
I will be right back. I gotta go grab my eye drops because this is rough. I'm just gonna leave it the way that it is because Bo's right there in the blankets.
You can see, but Bo boy. Oh, boy's so cute. He's a little cinnamon roll, all curled up on the couch. Yeah, exactly. When will you have grandkids? Da, 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 da.
Gosh, she's like the sweetest.
Yeah, caffeine and sarcasm. That's a very, very common thing. I feel like in this country, especially, because
let Mama get in.
What gets done?
No, let me get in. Move your big head. Okay, ready? I'm coming. Boop. There we go. Thank you. So sorry. Last production.
Oh, I love how you said that, Keisha. Flourishing in Boundary Kingdom is the goal I never knew I would relish in. That is a goal.
It's just like so messy that people do that. Like, I just don't understand. It's like, it's none of your business. Like because everybody cares so much about your vagina, like just all the time. Unless it's doing something they don't want to do. Like if it's doing something they don't want it to do, it's like, is your vagina having a good time outside of the sanctity of marriage? No.
Yeah, no. And this is so interesting, caffeine and sarcasm. As somebody who has been married to the wrong person for 16 years right out of college, just because that's what I was told to do, I feel this entire conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I feel like that's super common because it's just like, well, I mean, you've been with them for 4 years, so like what's the next step? And you're just like, maybe the next step is just to continue to be with them.
Yeah, I like being with somebody without all of the stress. Oh my God, baby. Without all of the stress of being with them.
Tracy. Audra sounding just like the guy I used to date. Scoot over, I'm coming in.
I know. Well, it's past his bedtime, so you know how he gets.
Yeah.
He gets like
Also, and this is why you shouldn't ask people if they're having kids. Because a lot of people on this planet cannot.
Thank you.
Ask me when I'm going to have kids, and I will tell you, oh,
I can't.
My body never has been able to. Yeah.
My body does not do that. My body actually does not do that. So it's like
I would T. I don't have marriage as a goal, but I might do it for taxes. But it would have to be a very clear communication with the other person to say, if we get married, if this happens, it's because we both need the benefits of the tax breaks. It's like how people get like married for green cards. I'd be like, I'll get married for taxes. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Hold on.
Oh, I love this. They have 2 cats, and I'm guessing 1 kid. Those are her siblings. When they ask for more siblings, she has cats. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's fascinating. Tracy knows somebody that got married so they could file bankruptcy together.
Mm-hmm. I've known people who got married for benefits. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, exactly. Benefits and tax breaks. That's why I would consider getting married to somebody that I actually care about having some kind of relationship with. Or being hetero life partners, but like getting married for the benefits and things. Because that's the thing, is that I also think there's a lot of people that overlook the idea of just having platonic life partners, platonic relationships that are supportive. Like the whole idea that we kind of, it's not a joke, but we say it like sometimes in jest, of the idea of like a commune or like a group living space, like a group living, like a idea of like, let's get a bunch of cottages all in the same like little row. The idea with that is also because you can be on your own but still have a support network and I hate this conversations with kids of like, oh, well, don't you want somebody to take care of you when you get old? If that's the reason you're having kids, you're a piece of shit. If that's the reason you're having kids,
It's so weird because, like, who's to say that your kids are going to give a fuck about you? You know what I mean? Like, kids, like, many things could happen. Who's to say that your children won't grow up and just be like, I fucking hate you, and like dump you in a home anyway? So it's like they're actually going to do something for you. Like, they're like, fuck you, like, whatever, mom, we're just waiting for you to die and give us the insurance money. Like, that's, I mean, to say that doesn't happen. And so it's just, the idea that you would have children because you're going to get old doesn't make sense. The idea, well, who's going to carry on your name? And it's like, who cares? People
talk about my name, to be honest.
Lineages end, and in fact, they were kind of supposed to at some point. We've just circumvented it. Like, we just keep circumventing it. And, you know, I'm not going to say that right now.
And I agree with T. Like, I feel like I have so many closer friends now than I did even a year and a half ago. But like my 2 friends in New York that I'm the closest with, like, if we all just like did the commune thing, I would be the happiest person. Like, I feel like they mean so much to me, and people so often diminish the value, to go back to friendships. Diminish the value of friendships, and they put all this weight on a romantic relationship, but then they're like, oh, like, friends don't matter. Or it's like when you see people get into a relationship and leave their friends behind, and I'm like, there's no fucking way that's happening. I'm not doing that. And if I'm with somebody who does that, or like if I'm friends with somebody that does that, it's a big red flag where I'm like, okay.
There was some really weird show on Hulu that was about that, and I don't know what it was. There was a giant cat, like a cat person. I don't know why there was a cat, but there was a whole show about a girl who basically she gets broken up with, and now she's trying to like go back and talk to her girlfriends. I'm gonna need to look this up at some point because it was a weird ass show, but it was actually good, and it was like talking about how women just lose themselves in a relationship, leave their friendships behind, and they come back. Dollface, yes.
Oh,
yeah, it's a really good show. And the idea behind it was very much like what we're talking about now is like leaving all your friends behind because you get locked into a relationship and like his friends become your friends and everything that's about him is about you. And I made the mistake of doing that. And the weird thing, the horrible thing about that is like when your relationship starts getting to where you're unhappy in it, it's more difficult for you to leave it because everything that you have, like your friendships and all of this is based off of your relationship. So like you don't want to lose those things. You're like, I don't want to lose my friendships. I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose going to this place or that place. So you just stay, even though it's unhappy and you're like, I hate everything about you. And then when it finally does end, you start realizing like, I mean, those people weren't my friends anyway. If they were just so eager to like just choose a side and leave, which they almost always choose a side because she was supposed to make it work. But
and you're not trash for wanting intimacy. That's not trash. It's just about understanding that you can have both. You can have like intimate sexual or romantic relationships and platonic relationships, and yes, they can get along and they can also like coexist together, but you also deserve to have a space outside of the space that you hold with your partner. Like if you have friends that you and what you talk about having your own place, like I think that's super important too, because you're just like, look, this is my space. This is for me.
Not referring to your significant other as your best friend. Stop doing that. Everybody, please stop doing that. You have a best friend. You had one. Your best friend is who you vent to about your significant other.
Keisha. I just love people like you're really trash for being an Aries. And I agree with you, Mr. Fluids. I'm ace, but not aromantic, and I consider friendships to be romantic. There's a committed relationship. There's love there. I totally agree. I don't necessarily view it as romantic. I guess that's why I say platonic, but I also think that there's, for me, because I'm also ace, there's a huge amount of love. There's a huge amount of love and caring for the friends in my life. And so I don't feel unfulfilled as a person because I'm like, I have so many like people in my life that I care so deeply for, and they care for me. We check in on each other. We do things for each other. I don't need sex with those relationships. And I get what other people do, but also you can still be kind of your own independent self and be in a relationship.
Yeah, it's because it's important to me to remain independent. Your best friend should not be your spouse. And I will say that all up and down the street. And the reason I say that is because when things happen between you and your spouse, who do you talk to when you need to like work it through? Who, like, there's a person you're going to. Like, that's why I tell people, like, stop doing that, because there's a person you are going to when you are going through a rough time with your spouse who you talk shit through with. And then when you're able to go talk to your spouse, because you had that conversation over there, you're able to have a cohesive, good conversation here. So stop doing that, because your actual best friend is offended your actual best friend is offended every time they see you post that on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Like, they're fucking offended because they're like, bitch, I knew you before this person showed up in your life. And you're just like, so glad I married my best friend. You're like, you didn't marry me, bitch. You didn't marry me. Like,
I mean, I do think there's history with friends that a lot of times people that you're in bed with will never understand. And I think, so Keisha says, I disagree. I think spouses could and should be your friend, and that's top to your relationship. I think if you're both very healthy people that can discuss emotions and feelings and boundaries, I think that it's possible. But I think that for a lot of regular people, that having that mindset of they're my best friend is a little bit, that's where it gets toxic, because they don't understand that you can also have multiple best friends.
Yes.
So, or you can have multiple friends and not have any best friend. Actually, I think it all depends on the situation that you're in. And there's that too.
I think
Just
that the thing is, Keisha, your spouse should be your friend, obviously. But I think that the issue comes in, like Emily was saying, too often people will consistently say that their spouse is their best friend. And in a lot of ways, they have discounted all the friends who were there for them before that relationship, who've always been taking care of them, have been there through all kinds of shit, surgeries and all kinds of stuff. And then you're like, no, this is my best friend now. And what happens to most people is once they've determined that, all the rest of their friendships fall by the wayside. And they only contact those friends when they need something. So typically what happens is, especially in heteronormative relationships, is typically what happens is he finally starts coming up out of the taco. He's like, that's enough. I'm gonna go out and do stuff with my guy friends. So he starts wanting to do like guys night, whatever. Nothing to where they're doing anything crazy, just hanging out with the dudes, having male company. And suddenly she's left looking around trying to find female company, but it's lacking because she let it all slide because she decided that he's her best friend. And when she decided that, all of her female friendships that were worth a shit are now like not really around. That's the premise of Dollface, because now you're trying to come back and now you have to rebuild these friendships that you've kind of let die on the vein, wither on the vine. So it's like those kinds of things can be dangerous.
I do think though that they are different topics, like that people that leave behind their friends and they're in a romantic relationship. That's a whole different, like, but again, that's the way it, in my opinion, a lot of it is the way romance is framed, where it is the ultimate goal. Finding the one is the ultimate goal. So for a lot of women, when they feel like they've formed a new relationship, it's feeling optimistic, and they're like, I have to strip away all distractions. It's me and him. That's it. That's the only relationship that matters. That's what I have to focus on. Not realizing that if he fell in love with you or even in like with you, he's attracted to you because of the person you are as a whole. And that person is built and better by the friends that the relationships that you have. The people that you have in your life should make you better and bring out the good sides of you. And that's the person that this new relationship is into. So when you spend all your energy focusing on just this new dude and then you leave your friends behind, you're going to be a different person to them.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, I don't ever really like this person. And then you're going to be like, well, fuck. I left my friends behind and now I don't have a decent relationship. And now I'm all alone.
Yeah.
So,
and even if your relationship is going well and it continues to stay going well, there's just the issue of you like not having space outside the relationship. I think everybody should have space outside of the relationship. You should definitely have that. Because sometimes like somebody being all up in your ear, and that could just be me. That's obviously a me thing. But like sometimes just somebody always being around you, you're like, get the fuck away from me. I need an hour by myself without you here. I'm getting really hungry.
I'm like, I'm like, we've been on for 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I need to make my eggs. Listen.
Yeah.
I need to make my eggs.
I need some food in my life as well.
I need if I was in LA right now, I would be able to like some bomb ass Thai food. Like, yes, bitch.
Yeah, I've never been to LA, and I want to go just for all of the good food that's out there, and like other shit, but mostly the good food.
I used to order Thai food at like 2:00 in the fucking morning, and they were like still making food. I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Irene, you are gorgeous, and you deserve all of the love that's in the chat.
I know.
Just gonna say that. Just to make you feel, maybe even more awkward.
And yo,
Anyway.
FYI, if you're on my Instagram, like if you do not want to ever show up in my stories, please just like shoot me a message and let me know because that's just who I am. We ain't dragging you. You're gorgeous. Shut up, Irene. That's the only drag you get is a shut up.
That is what you call a positive roast. This reflects back to our 90s conversation. That is called roasting somebody with love. You're like, you're
Yes.
gorgeous. Shut the fuck up. You're gorgeous.
And that's what it's like to have good friends on the internet.
Exactly. We're tying it all together. Thank y'all for hanging out with us this whole time. Like the stream if you haven't already. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to me or Audra, please subscribe. Join Legutta. And boy. And I'm gonna press the end button. And bye everybody. Have a good
Bye
night.
guys. I love you.